Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge to benefit the Bahamas Disaster Relief Fund. Sunday, December 1st, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. AMF Panorama Lanes, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica. Come have fun and enjoy a few games of bowling for a good cause. There will be prizes, food and drink specials, and some special challenges mixed in along the way. $20 per bowler or $100 per team includes 2 games and shoe rental. All proceeds go directly to the Bahamas Relief Foundation. That's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge, presented by Disruption Network, Holy Pozzoli, and AMF Panorama Lanes. Sunday, December 1st, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.
All right, listen up, everybody. This is former governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're listening to the D-Line, only on Disruption Networks. That's the D. Do it now. The
D-Line. Disruption Network's weekly football podcast. With your host, Chicken.
I will say, one of the greatest games I've seen this year.
Caleb.
There's no takeaways from that game. I mean, the takeaways were that we should have changed the channel earlier tonight.
And still.
Just fucking tit for tat, going back and forth, just a battle.
Forgot to hit a mute button again.
Chicken.
Loud today.
Hey, there I am. Okay, cool.
We're here.
I need the headphones and not hear it so loud.
We're here, though, and we somewhat made it work here tonight to start off the show. So
yeah,
I feel like I'm echoing into the other century, though.
Yeah, no, right. Let me.
Little computer issue at the beginning is why we're late. But.
Yeah, I was doing updates. It was and then I said I couldn't do the updates.
Yeah. Did you throw your hands around like that too?
Yeah, like I don't care.
when it fucking did the same thing. I'll throw my hands around.
Reverb.
Well, Chicken, do you want me to welcome everybody to the D-Line this week, or you want to do it?
Hi, everybody.
I don't know why it's got such reverb on here, but
yeah, pretty cool though.
Sound like you're in the stadium,
right?
So, did you guys check out that game on Monday night?
Well, what's the name of the show?
Well, I thought you just said you welcomed everybody to the D-Line, Caleb. I'm sitting here waiting. I thought he did it.
Fucker. God, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Well, everybody, my name's Caleb. Welcome to the D-Line.
Hey, Caleb, how's it going?
As usual, joined by co-host Sil and the guy leading the show, the parade over there, Chicken. All right, we're all here. So another week of football down and a very, very, very crazy week. I would say one of the craziest weeks we've had game-wise this week.
A lot of suicide pools got squashed.
A lot of people got squashed
this weekend. We weren't the only ones that got falconed.
Oh, my gosh. Jeez. Who knew? But, yeah, it was a hell of a slate of games this past weekend.
Or should we say jetsed?
The Jets, the New York Jets. We'll get to them. But yeah, it was a really awesome slate of games. Even dating, I mean, hell, let's even date back to Thursday night too. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a hell of a game too.
Great game.
That was an awesome fucking game.
I have never cheered for the Raiders in my life.
But damn it, did you ever then? Huh? So
That was it was been a good weekend for you.
it was a really great weekend.
We were talking like before we started the show about how when we're waiting for everything to load back up here, and how like I watched the Bears game, and right at the end of the Bears game, which was a close game, then they just switched over to like 3 or 4 different games in a row. They were. I felt like I was watching the Red Zone.
Right? Yeah, you're right. It was
great.
wicked cool.
It's always nice, like before. I remember, like when I was younger, before all those, like Red Zone, NFL Network, all that stuff came out, where you were like always waiting at the 1 o'clock game. You were trying to play like what channel wasn't going to have the 4 o'clock game, so they could show the extra highlights,
Right.
Like so they could show you the end of like another really good game, and then you'd always get pissed when they like another game would start. So once that last 4 o'clock game starts, they can't, for some reason, they can't show you any highlights of previous games,
Really?
or they can't cut into any of the previous games. Or whatever the national game of the week is on Fox or CBS, the 4:25 game, they technically can't go back. The other channels can't go back and show you like any other games that are going on at that point. So you got to get it all in by 4:25. It's weird. It's a weird law. Yeah, it's one of those stupid weird laws. Not laws, but like kind of it's like a respect thing through the channels between Fox and CBS.
Broadcasting rights thing.
Exactly.
Anything,
yeah. So because they don't want to, it's that idea of not wanting to pull you from the start of that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you love getting pulled by foxes. So, but yeah, wait, that's cool. So, but yeah, it was a hell of a week last week. So where should we get started then?
Well, I think we got to go with I think was the best game of the week. Was that Monday Nighter?
I took the
yeah.
Oh, Monday Nighter. All right. Yeah, sure.
The Monday Nighter, I think, was by far the best game of the week. That is the new Houston Seahawks game, and you know they're both the Seahawks.
No.
Yeah.
The KC Rams.
I think this is
What?
better.
No way.
The KC Rams last year it was the game of the year.
Yeah, but I'm saying like for this year, this is that game.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Yes, this is that game. You're right. 100%.
Yeah. And I wasn't overly impressed with. Like, I didn't think either team poured it on or anything like that. I thought it was just a really good game. To be
What do you
honest.
mean by poured it on?
Like just like really like sometimes you see teams that just steal the show, and then sometimes teams will hang around. Like both of them were making very it's hard for me to common mistakes, but at the same time the game was kept so close. It was a really awesome game to watch.
It was a fun game. We were talking about like the refs didn't decide
nothing.
Any factors in the game, which I think is awesome.
Hockey Lee's son's awesome, man. Hockey Lee's son's the one who had this game. He's really good. I like it.
I like the. I was like Huckley's son. Like
he's my favorite.
Huckleys.
He's my favorite.
But like with that game, like I knew it was gonna be a good game. I caught it at the half. I was late getting into the game. I'm like, oh, cool. It was like 21-10, I believe, at the half or right after the half. And next thing I'm like, wow, like you thought Seattle was gonna roll away with it after that, and then the 49ers came right back.
Yep.
And then Seattle come back. It was just such a blow for blow.
It really had everything. It had some good sacks, especially against Wilson. Caught me off guard. Garoppolo was getting killed. Defensive scores. My only nitpick, and I had this same concern back in preseason with Garoppolo. He's forcing passes into tight coverage. We got to revisit this again. He had a couple of picks. Actually, one of them got called back. My fault on a defensive holding call, but still tight passes.
Yeah.
I mean he's not. Could that come back to haunt him if teams pick up on that, start running a little tighter coverage?
Once they watch that
Yes.
tape, and you got the defense that can be aware of it. Yeah,
he's just so for me. You guys, you make a good point of once you see it and stuff like that. How do you defend it? But I mean, that's the story of the NFL, and also at the same time with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's just so goddamn athletic. And he's just he makes plays, and I've been very impressed with him. And I know you guys haven't been all about him because of the quote unquote small sample size and stuff. But Jimmy Garoppolo for me has really shown what he can do, and I think he's going to be a very good quarterback for a long time.
He's got some great support help. No glaring superstars. I mean, when Emmanuel Sanders is like your biggest star on as far as wide receivers go. That says something, but like I think that's great because he's still doing what he's got to do with the hand that he's dealt. Now you start getting this guy some talent. You start getting him some young wide receivers. I don't know, some of these burners out there, like some of the young guys out there, like
Great point, Chicken.
You're asking. You're talking about getting help for Garoppolo.
yeah, I don't know who's really coming up out of the draft. Or,
Right.
I mean, it's the draft. The draft is going to be. The draft is. We'll see where that kind of comes. A lot of those speedster guys that you're talking about, it's not a weird thing or a bad thing that with college names you really don't know those speedster names. Those lesser known guys. For instance, and we'll get to him in a second. It's a guy I won't really want to talk about today because it's just come down in the news with like an Antonio Callaway. Antonio Callaway was a later round pick out of Florida when they took him. I believe he was in the third or fourth round or so. But you usually that's when you hear about those guys. Your big bruising guys, your Ridleys, your Julio Jones of the world. Those are the guys that go in the first round. Those big, tall Chris Davis types, Davis with Tennessee. Those big kind of bruising wide receivers are usually your first round type. So it's not uncommon to really know those guys. Julian Edelman was the quarterback at Kent State. You know what I'm saying? And now arguably, and somebody mentioned it last week. I forgot what analyst said, but he's a former wide receiver. It might have been Randy Moss, but I'm not sure. Said that Edelman's the best wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, I disagree with that, but I disagree with that. I'm not hanging my hat on that. I'm putting him in the top 10. Yeah, definitely. I mean, but that's sometimes you don't know about those guys when they're coming along, so you can find. I wouldn't call him the
best in the league by far. I mean, not when you got DeAndre Hopkins in there. And
Julio
Jones.
He got a little ahead of himself, but yeah, I mean, and also too, keep in mind this too. Jimmy Garoppolo did not have Kittle last week either, so that was another guy that was out for him too.
Didn't Breida get hurt?
And Breida got hurt too. So, I mean, it's he's doing with what he got, but you have to expect that stuff. And I love Jimmy Garoppolo. I thought it was a great move.
I think they got a great team building right now. They're strong. I just I called this game. I said that Seattle was going to deal them their first loss. And man, that was they went down to like the last minute of the. I was almost
pat yourself.
We got overtime. They were just battling back and forth. Punching and punching, not nobody's backing down. They just kept going for it.
For once, I wouldn't even minded a tie because I was like, man, both these teams deserve to win.
Yeah,
they didn't like. It wasn't one of those games where they kept handing it away. I mean, he threw that interception. Russell Wilson threw that interception
right in the red zone. Yeah, right in the end there. But missed kick, I mean, either one.
I didn't think McLaughlin had a chance that kick that they set up for him at the end there. He made the one. He made the one at the end of the game, which was awesome. Good for him. That's nails. But I didn't think he had a shot. That one that they lined him up in overtime was a deep shot, if I remember correctly.
But he shanked.
I think it was
47. 40. Yeah, I mean he did.
I thought he got blocked. Like
I did too, and they blew up one side of that line too, like really bad. So it could have been the pressure. I feel like that would lead to a shanking when you see your guys, when you see so much movement coming and you see guys, really make a good pull, you just pull the ball left, and it is what it is. I mean, with that miss, does Robbie Gould make that? I don't know. Is it the same protection? I don't know. So that's my
You're
question.
also talking about Robbie Gould, who's probably one of the best kickers in.
That's fine. You can be the best kicker. You can be the best kicker all you want. But
Terry Shanks one.
Yeah, it's
lately a little more than normal.
If that crowd of guys was coming off the edge there, against Gould, would it have been the same thing? Yeah, probably. So whatever. I thought he did a nice job composing himself at the end of the game for that 42-yarder. That's no easy task. So. And then Jason Myers is the reason you go out and spend on kickers, Jets fans.
But I mean, two things. Russell Wilson played like a beast.
Yes, he did. Came up big.
And Javion Clowney played like a beast. And you haven't heard his name mentioned all too often.
No,
Clowney was good.
This is a really good game for him to shine. Prime time, and he did it. I know he's been relevant. This season, but this is one where he was really present. I mean, he was disruptive.
In the interview I listened to afterwards, he actually took the leadership responsibility and did a little thing before the game and really, got them fired up. And I think prior to this game, he was kind of just working his way into the team and then trying to adjust in his role in the team. And I think this was when he finally said, "Screw this, I'm a leader," and that team rallied behind him. And man, that and Russell Wilson, the shit that Russell Wilson was pulling out of his ass,
makes Seattle scary at the right time of the year.
And you put Lockett in there. If Lockett was in there, and then Metcalf and Josh Gordon, this is a good team, boys. This could have been an NFC Championship.
Well, the tight end who's come along pretty pretty well to his holster or something like that. He was pretty good the other night too. So Chris Carson, I mean,
they're only a game out of first now.
Gentlemen, I you know what I say too. I watch out for this too, and I know this is going to we'll probably go off on a Bears tangent when I say this here, but look out for them maybe perhaps going out and kind of just eating a little bit of Mike Davis maybe. Bring it back.
For what?
No, Davis signed with Carolina this week.
Oh, he did sign with Carolina?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Because he knows the system and he was really good there.
Yeah, but they don't need him.
Mike Davis is really good. But Chicken, everybody needs good players. I mean, does Cincinnati need Kareem Hunt? No, but fucking sure they'll keep him.
Cincinnati
or Cleveland, sorry. Fucking sure they'll keep him. And he was really good last week.
I'm like, it's a Thursday. He could have got traded to Cincy. I don't know. They probably just changed the deadline.
All right.
Let's bring him there.
No shit, right? Well, let's talk about I guess the
other the other good games too, which is Raider. We touch on the Raiders.
I think we should go news first. Let's go
you want to hit the news? Hit the news.
Let's go news first here, and his name's back. He's back. Colin Kaepernick is back, and it's been the workout fiasco this week. I guess we'll call it workout gate a little bit. We'll dub it that for us.
Is he thrown to Antonio Brown?
Yeah, right. No kidding. But you know who actually is running his So basically, to give everyone a synopsis of what's happened is a couple of teams in the NFL have asked to see Colin Kaepernick work out, and basically you have to ask the NFL to do a joint workout before you actually do it. So the NFL schedules this event, and the NFL scheduled this event kind of at the time that was not asked for by them, or very abruptly, I guess, Silberth. I guess that's what kind of we were talking about earlier. It was very abrupt that they scheduled this meeting.
Very, very abrupt. From what I'm seeing, well, to me, what it sounds like is it was just they expected him to say no, he couldn't do it. I mean, they call you on a fucking Tuesday and say, hey, can you make it this Saturday? Mm-hmm. I got plans, you know? So to me, it seemed like a handout. But from what I'm seeing is a couple of teams were interested in trying him out. Didn't want to do a private workout, I guess, without getting the NFL's okay because of the whole lawsuit and whatnot. So the NFL took the reins and decided to create a workout for all the teams. A list came out of the teams, that are 100% going. I'm seeing articles. The Bears
I can
are
give
really
you the
interested
11
in Kaepernick, but the Bears aren't on that list. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's just like
the Bears aren't going to be on that list because it'll be an absolute. A lot of teams aren't going to be on that list because it's going to be a fiasco.
To be honest with you, I hope he has a great workout. I hope he muddies the water and makes it interesting for all of us.
Your 11 teams. Sorry, Chicken. Your 11 teams include Arizona, Atlanta, Cleveland, Denver, Detroit, Miami, New England, the Giants, the Jets, Tampa Bay, and Washington right now are the committed teams right now.
If you're Cleveland, why?
Why not? He could be a backup quarterback. He's not going to start. You're not bringing,
nobody's
bringing this guy in to start, guys. I mean, it's not.
I can see a place like Arizona or some of these places that
only have one QB
and could welcome the hype. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's going to be a lot of hype, and a lot of teams, like you're going to look at some of the teams like New England's they're not going to want the hype. Chicago might not want it. Dallas might like it, but it's like some of these teams that like.
It's so stupid that this says 11 teams and there's 30 teams in the NFL. Well, every team should send a representative to this thing. Why wouldn't you?
I believe most teams are. I believe all teams are. I don't see why you're holding. Hey, it's a free work.
You're not doing your due diligence.
You don't normally see this in the middle of the season.
No.
You see it in the off season, sure, but not now.
What if he goes out there? What if he goes out there and his arm looks awesome? And teams are like,
I hope so.
Fuck.
Knowing his girlfriend, he's going to ask for way too much money for what is right now a backup role with a chance to compete for a starting position.
And is he going to be satisfied with a backup role? I mean, he has to be at this point.
He has to be.
Played in what?
He has to be. He has no choice.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's expecting a starting role.
When's the last time he played? 4 years?
That's what I don't think.
He played what? A couple games,
right?
Gentlemen, I don't think we were on
years ago.
I don't think we were on the air when he's. I don't think he's been on a team at the time we've been on the air.
No. No, I don't think. I think you're right.
If that gives you. And now that's where my question starts to come into play. Is okay. Yes, he can work. He's been working out and stuff like that, but. There's guys I know that are professional athletes that are younger than him and still work out every day and still trying to get that chance to get back, but haven't gotten it. And how's that body going to be? Like, is it all going to still be? I worry about that. That's something that with a lot of these teams. You can.
You're worried about his body.
I just rock that body, I guess. Huh? Yeah, there you go. But it'll be interesting. The NFL is kind of it's been a slippery story this week with the NFL, and kind of they've been tippy-toeing around this workout and stuff like that. Which, to be honest with you, Silbert brings up a really great point. What the fuck does the NFL owe this guy? The actual league office, because the league office doesn't owe him dick because he's suing them, or he sued them.
He won.
He previously has sued them. So, like, what? Are you going to be in an awful quick rush to help somebody out that you just gave a couple $1 million to? Probably.
Obviously, they just did.
Yeah.
Now he's got an audience.
Mm-hmm.
Do they know who he's thrown to?
I do not know, but I know Hugh Jackson is running the workout.
Last I read,
Hugh Jackson. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Well, last I knew was he had no idea what the routes were, what the throws were going to be, and who was he thrown to. I guess normally you know exactly who you're thrown to and what the throws were, and he hasn't gotten any of that. So they're saying that they think the NFL is kind of trying to work against him a little bit, which I mean they're not going to help him.
I think this was just a pity toss. They were hoping he would say no.
So why not just hold one privately? Why not hold one that by yourself? I mean, you know enough people in the league. You have enough money.
Right.
You could have went and held a tryout yourself.
You could just rent a high school field for a few $100 and call it a day.
And that way you have more control of what's being done. I mean, you can have right now you're leaving it up to the NFL, and the NFL is playing games. You know what I'm saying? So why not just hold it yourself and
you control the environment.
Exactly. You control.
I'm sure he knows enough retired receivers. They could come in and do a little something.
They don't even have to be retired. They could be on a practice squad.
Right.
It could be one of his buddies.
Then you get in legal muddy waters. Are they allowed to do that kind of shit?
Don't they do it for pro days and?
I mean,
who's
granted,
that?
Granted,
guys that can catch balls from him.
Yeah.
Can't be somebody on a roster.
They can't be on a roster.
No.
So maybe a recently cut guy.
Could be, yeah, guy trying to get back into it. Yeah, a double workout that happens quite frequently. A lot of times, that's where guys get noticed in.
Go call Megatron.
Yeah, in college.
Really?
Oh, jeez. Oh, God, Silbreth.
What'd you say?
Oh, Charles Rogers. Oh, man. But yeah, a lot of times, in college, you'll see guys kind of catch some what they call helium in the scouting industry, and get pumped up people's boards because hey, he caught Jared Goff during his pro day, or hey, he caught Kaepernick during his pro day, or something like that. You'll see a lot of wide receivers in college that might have been fringe guys that really come out and have a really good day that day. So, but no, in the NFL, you cannot. He could not throw to someone who's on an active.
Yeah, I didn't think he could.
I just say this
no agent would allow that either.
Somebody picks him up, just give him the chance to see if he's good or not. And
why not?
Let him.
I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, I hope he has
with it.
If a team sees an opportunity for him to contribute, then why not? I mean, if you genuinely think he could contribute to your team, if he would be smart in your quarterback's room, then do it. I don't. Whatever. The movement's over. The movement didn't work.
Hang on. It did work.
It worked. But
that's the thing. People are still talking about it like it had no effect. No.
Yeah,
awareness.
You're right.
Awareness needed to be raised.
Yeah.
It got raised tenfold because of him. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, hopefully,
it got very convoluted.
I was very wrong with what I just said.
It got very convoluted. You're right. But hopefully, police departments and communities are working to better that relationship.
Well, we've seen last year the Chicago Bears, and I know this because I'm a Chicago Bears fan, but
no shit.
The team themselves actually. The group of guys got together and they decided to all donate some money and get out there into the community and start helping and doing just that, working with police officers and things of that nature, which is what really should have happened.
Colin Kaepernick wins.
Yeah, but I just wish he took that route first, instead of.
I agree.
Something more productive.
Instead of making a statement that knocked the NFL down, I swear to God, 10 fucking notches. It really did.
And
it hurt the product. That's fucking paying your check,
and
right
it made
now.
more people in this nation.
You're right. But my question to that, I guess, that point is was the way that it ended up.
Picks his nose on camera.
Thank you. Jeez, called out. Was the way he did it? Was the way he did it the only way it was going to work? Because it was so demonstrative and
to me, it's like walking into a church naked, right? And
protest,
priests,
because at the same time, you could tell the Catholic Church, "Hey, I'm not going to go anymore," and fuck you. But is that protest big enough? What I think Kaepernick did was what had to happen to kind of push that issue further. I don't know if he could have gone about it another way where it would have gotten it.
Let's put it this way.
Tell me how he could have gone about it another way that would have gotten the reaction he got.
And organized with other players and
wouldn't have gotten the reaction.
Wouldn't have got the reaction from the crowd as much. Now, there's a
everybody's.
I don't want to talk about this. Let's get on this.
I think it's. I don't know. I think it's a fair point to talk about.
That's what we got to talk about.
Because it's been like this for the past 3 years.
You're right. That's right. I don't want to bring up anything old. My point was, I don't want to talk about it like he didn't do anything. No, he made his point. He raised his awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about it now. Not forget about the awareness. Be aware, but forget about.
Let him revert back to his career.
Let him get back to what he was doing.
But
you know what? I don't even want to turn. Is he forgive and forget?
But here's the thing: is he just going to go and play?
Yes,
that's the question. That he says he's gonna, but is he really going to?
I think he's.
Is his girlfriend, wife, whatever, is she going to shut her mouth and let him play?
I think he goes back now to chicken because I think this deal with Nike, what he's doing with Nike now, I think that's how.
Which is also really funny that he's a representative of Nike and he's talking about oppression.
Yeah, but
they got Chinese workshops.
But here's my thing. It's now where he's going back to the what we were talking about before with not such a demonstrative act. He's going back to something where maybe he gets something on his apparel that has a something with his message in it. It's not going to be that message of I don't think he would kneel. He'll kneel during the national anthem anymore. I don't think it's a thing that players are really doing anymore. And also, the other thing is maybe he does it subtly in the ways that you were talking about. Okay, you organize enough players, but if you have a bunch of players wearing a shirt underneath their jersey, that's not as demonstrative as taking it the route that they did before and got their reaction. So I think maybe he kind of rolls it back a little bit. He'll still be the figure. He'll still be the figure for the movement that he was trying to attain.
How old
exactly?
Keep that awareness there.
Yeah.
Keep it there.
How old is he now?
I'm not sure. Let me look.
32.
32?
32. But in quarterback years, he's fine. That you want. I would rather have a quarterback who's 30 some odd years old at times than a quarterback who's 21. And we're just because I know the game has slowed down for him at this point.
Well, look at
he is 32, correct. He just turned 32 at the beginning of November. Pardon me.
The kid that's quarterbacking for the Kansas City Chiefs, the backup, Matt Moore. Was he 35, 36? Some of these guys are coming in. We talk about Fitzpatrick and McCown.
McCown, yeah.
These guys keep coming back. Testaverde played until he was 103.
Great, wow.
But so the age thing is,
it doesn't affect me at all.
The only reason why I see it with somebody like him because he was more that athletic quarterback and that running style quarterback. He was never really behind, sit in a pocket.
But we saw that dude. I go especially back to the Bears game. I've seen that dude drop dimes, Russell Wilson dimes. And then I've seen him throw 3 interceptions in a game.
That last game he played against the Bears,
right?
He had a negative pass.
That's the thing. In 2 games I've seen him against the Bears. One, he ripped us a new a-hole. The other one, he looked like fucking Dave Craig. Fucking NFL interception leader.
It's just amazing. It's amazing to see. It's amazing to think about as the fucking vicious rant that I went on earlier this year. Probably my most heated rant of all of my D rants. About the Jets and the Adam Gase and the backup quarterback in the Luke Folk situation. This is something too. I mean, another spot too that it doesn't make sense is okay. So the Jets had 2 quarterback injuries. Why are you not talking to a guy like this? Why are you not talking to somebody better? I'm talking about all free agent quarterbacks that are out there. And my other question is too, in Jacksonville. Okay, yes, they did draft Minshew, but very rarely have I ever seen a rookie quarterback get thrown under center. In their rookie season that was not a highly touted player like Gardner Minshew. So there's another spot he could have
Tom Brady.
Tom Chicken, when did Tom Brady make his debut?
The lawsuit muddied the
before 9/11. Yeah. Come on,
I'm just saying we've seen rookies come in and
right.
But not
the lawsuit muddied the waters. That's why it took this long.
Russell Wilson. Perfect
Well,
example.
he was an instant plug and play.
Yeah, but when he got drafted, he was going to be third on the depth chart.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew somewhere I was going to come out there.
Well, my point is okay. Well,
I know
my
your
point
point.
my point then is why the fuck did Luke Falk start 3 games that I watched this year and Colin Kaepernick couldn't have?
Was not there. Right. Okay. Yes. But
And I say that about every other quarterback too.
But the lawsuit didn't get fixed till
Great
a
point.
couple of months ago.
Great point.
Now the dust is settled off of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a good opportunity. I just hope he doesn't ask for too much money. I wouldn't mind. I'm okay with seeing him on an NFL
Just give him a
roster.
fair shake.
I really don't
Just
think
give
he-
the kid a fair shake.
Yes.
I really don't think he wants that much money. I don't think he's really in this for the money.
Yeah,
I don't think he's looking
he'll
for money.
get it.
I think he wanted $2.5 million from the XFL.
He's going to get it through sponsorship.
From the
I would.
XFL, that's rough. From the NFL, that's not too bad for a back.
I would if I was him and they asked me to go play in the XFL, I would ask for $2.5 million too.
He's going to get his money through endorsements.
You're right. Yeah.
Because like the people that bailed on him before, but now realize this guy carries a lot of,
Clout.
He's got his own fan base now, and I heard
He's a name.
which he never did prior as a player.
I know,
as a
right?
player, this dude never had a fan base.
I heard today that his jersey sales are predicted to be number 1 once he signs with a team, and
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's crazy, but awesome in the same.
How about
sense.
this? Instead of let's see how he is at quarterback, let's see how he is as a kicker.
Right? Yeah, I know,
Because
right?
Jesus Christ, nobody can kick a freaking football.
Jesus.
Can we just go down one? I just want to make one. Let's just go down prediction lane here, quick. I'm not talking teams. What do you guys think that this weekend will lead to for him? Do you think it'll lead to an opportunity? Do you think? Let's put it this way: after Sunday, yes or no? Do you believe that Colin Kaepernick will sign with an NFL team the next 2 weeks?
By Tuesday, he is on an NFL team. There's
By
my
Tuesday.
I disagree. I think it's going to be as a needed basis. Somebody might bring him in. Like
Okay.
A quarterback gets hurt, a team that has a chance. So they might bring him in and test him out, see how he runs. Because like we see them do it all the time. They reach out to like Jay Cutler.
The reason I say Tuesday is because Tuesday is the day off for the NFL.
Yeah.
So they'll bring him in for one more private workout. By Tuesday evening, he's on an NFL.
See, I don't think anybody. People are afraid to pull that trigger. And a lot of these owners are afraid to pull that trigger. But if you're a team, let's say you're Seattle, right, and Russell Wilson goes down, who are you going to bring in to replace? I don't know who his backup is, but he ain't Russell.
Gino.
I wonder.
Yeah, he's garbage. So I would take Kaepernick over Geno.
I'll fucking agree with you today. Check it on
this
one
just
thing.
popped into my head. What if the NFL is testing the waters with him to see what kind of NFL fan backlash they'll get, for bringing him in? Which, I don't think they'll get much. Will fans? Let's say he signs with the Bears. Would you and I stop being a Bears fan and stop buying Bears paraphernalia if he joined the Bears?
No. But if you go a place like, let's say,
I don't think there's
Cowboys,
a single. No, they would still buy.
Republican heavy, very like.
Well, that's the thing. Here's a team that needs a quarterback in Washington. Could you put him in Washington right now?
I think the NFL wants to see. I think teams want to see that.
Washington would be tough.
Could you put him in
Need it.
Washington?
They need him.
If you want,
do
if
need
Haskins, if something happened to Haskins, let's say name him at the start of the rest of the year. Something happens to Haskins. Could you bring him into Washington?
But as if I'm Dan Snyder, no,
Who's a douche?
I won't
but-
because you're not in contention anyways.
Yeah.
So you might as well just, or you could just say, okay, we took him on and we're gonna lose.
Sometimes
Right now, you just want to get through the fucking season.
sometimes that's the favor some teams will do for guys though. Sometimes they'll bring him in and say, "Hey, you know what? Here's the audition chance. If you could do something with this pile of shit."
What do you think?
know?
What do you think?
I think it's going to fall on deaf ears. I think at least within my 2 week time period, I do not think he'll be on an NFL roster.
I don't think in 2 weeks. I think it comes down to like getting close into the playoffs. You have a team that says, they've seen his pro workout and it's like, yeah, he didn't look too bad, and they have a chance, and they don't want to go pick up their backup.
Yeah.
Because maybe the backup's not that good, doesn't work with the offense that well, and they might bring him in and say, you know what, we need help.
But if Tuesday, as John said, and I think he would be right about that Tuesday timeline, it would be Tuesday about when he would be signed. If Tuesday it came across my feed that Colin Kaepernick signed with an NFL team, I'd be like,
and I think
I'm not
Seattle
surprised.
might be a decent choice because Seattle's more progressive, the area. I don't think there's going to be a big lot of hoopla. And guess who came to his back when all that went on? You had
Eric Reed. Yeah, Eric Reed is saying, come to the Carolina Panthers.
No, I'm saying like even before him, you had what's his name? The cornerback that used to be on Seattle.
Sherman.
Russell Sherman came out to his defense. So did
Richard.
Richard Sherman. You said Russell Sherman.
You combine him and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And then
His
Doug
two
Baldwin.
loves.
Then Doug Baldwin came out to his defense.
Baldwin?
They're the one, and Michael Bennett. So they're the as the Seahawks
A franchise, yeah.
They actually supported him.
Pete Carroll did not push back either. Pete Carroll was part of the movement as well. People will forget.
Dude, I agree.
So I think Seattle's
it's a good message to have out there.
Bring him to the Jets.
If it fits, if the scouting department sees a spot where it fits, then hell yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to. It comes down to a team in need.
Bring him in. I mean, it doesn't. I don't think no team is going to be bringing this guy in as a fact of like, oh, we're going to give him a 3-year deal and really see where it goes. Like
it's going to be a 1-year deal.
It'll be a 1, yeah.
And that's why that's why I hate discussing this, because it takes us down this whole rabbit hole.
It does, yeah, because it's not only this issue, it's this issue and that. And
that's why I just want to give this kid a fair shake.
Yep.
Let him go out and play, and let him determine.
And I think we're getting to that point, and it's good to see. I think we're finally to that point where it's like, okay, let's just see where this because
like the new Pete Rose of the.
Can I tell you guys something? You know what we need? Do you know what we need? Do you know what we need as a public? We need this workout broadcast on ESPN, and we need this is who we need. This is who we need. Romo, Randy Moss, and Hasselbeck commentating it. No one else. Just the three of them. To hear what they have to say and hear and maybe see if you can get Bill Polian back.
Maybe Trent Dilfer?
And maybe get those 5 in there. But I don't want to fucking hear Chris Berman's fucking mouth. I don't want to hear all the fucking rest of them. I want to hear guys that know what they're talking about. And I want to sit there and I want to watch the play that just happened. I want to watch them digress it and the throw that he just made and hear what they have to say. Because those are the minds, and that will put to rest what everybody thinks about. Oh, well, he has a chance to play. If he genuinely doesn't have a shot to play and he's not athletically able to play, then I'm fully on board with him not getting a contract.
Could the NFL pull off an emergency pay-per-view event?
No.
But do you know what I'm saying, guys? That's where it would put things to rest.
NFL Network runs, camps in.
NFL is not going to let you do that. They're not going to do.
No, they're not. This is totally going to be private. Yeah,
right.
I don't think.
They want to hush it.
I don't think his agents would allow it anyways, because then
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. Then scouts don't have to go to the game. They can just watch the film.
Let's talk about some games. I'm done talking with Colin Kaepernick until we see his workout.
Can we go three more news and then we'll go games?
Sure.
I just want to go 3 more news. Okay, so
as long as it's not Kaepernick.
No, it's not. Big story today. Going into we'll talk about that with the Monday night game. One thing I wanted to hit on this week too. Vernon Hargreaves was released or waived by Tampa Bay. Vernon Hargreaves was a very high draft pick a few years back at cornerback.
Too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was high at cornerback. And sure Tampa Bay let him go. And in the process of waiving a player, you go through the waiver process. Waiver process, for people who don't know, is a process where each team, from the worst team in currently the record-wise worst team in the NFL to the best team in the NFL, you start with the worst and you work your way up the list, have a chance to claim that player. That you're on the hook for all of the rest of that player's contract when you claim someone on waivers, whatever they have left this year and then in any following years. A lot of teams passed on this guy, and a lot of teams, including my very, 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 very cornerback-needy New York Jets, passed on this guy. So the team that ended up getting him was the Houston Texans, who traded for a former first-round pick in Jerrion Conley, the cornerback from Houston as well, Oakland as well this offseason. So this is a team that's taking risks on high pedigree guys that were drafted high in the draft for, use that. Damn, they could end up finding a steal. They could end up finding a steal with a guy like that. So that's one little piece of news I wanted to mention, and I also wanted to mention the deplorable comments by Woody Earls? Chris Johnson, the current CEO of the Jets. Johnson has said that the Jets will bring back Adam Gase in 2020. They've guaranteed that he will be back with the team. And for anybody besides myself, that's probably good news. They're not even second guessing it. Players have actually come out and supported him, which I almost think they have to. But people like the guy who just walked in are probably very, very, very excited that Adam Gase will be in division again next year in the AFC East.
Yep. Very much so. Very much so.
Well, welcome, Jamie, from the 3 and Out crew.
Sorry I'm late. As I told Chicken the other day, I'm on call today, so I just walked out of the hospital.
NFL did announce some games. Oops,
Fly come in.
All right. Oh, right.
Late start.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. We had a little issues with the computers when we first logged on to, so we're a little late ourselves.
All right, good. So I didn't miss too much then.
Now we're just talking about the games of the week.
Of course. All right.
I think we're going to go with the Browns and the Bills.
Right off the bat, let's just rub it in my face right off the bat, huh?
I'm sorry, but still you were going to say.
Yeah. NFL changed games for actually next week. They moved Green Bay and San Fran from 4:25 to the 8:20 game. They moved Seattle and Philadelphia from 8:20 to 1 p.m. And that and the other ones don't matter because they basically moved them from Fox to CBS and vice versa. Mm-hmm. On week 16, they doesn't matter because we're in week fucking 11, so I'm not going to read that one. But next week, that's pretty cool, moving Green Bay and San Fran to the 8 o'clock game because I would totally rather see that than Seattle and Philly. Just because I'm not sold on Philly yet, and so I would think easily Seattle would win that game.
I do want to give you a little good introduction here.
All right.
Yeah.
You are from the 3 and Out crew, but
yes.
It's just like part of what you do. I mean, you wear many different hats. Unfortunately, you're wearing
a Bills one today. Yeah, unfortunately for most people, especially after that wonderful game on Sunday.
So now you are you're also a surgeon?
No. Surgeon's assistant, basically. I'm a scrub nurse with like some privileges. So
I want no scrub.
Yeah, exactly. But I am one, so you're stuck with me for the day at least.
And you're also a musician.
I'm a musician. I'm also a professor at Utica College.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently an Uber driver.
Apparently an Uber driver. That's what I was supposed to be on last Thursday, and then had to do the good duties of picking people up and bringing them home. And
said duty.
Yeah, I know I did.
And during good old summertime, he's that guy with the drum on his back, and he's playing a ukulele, and he's got cymbals on his knees.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. I do it all. You gotta keep it going. So.
Plug your band.
Yeah, band is a dying breed. We've been together for.
Right?
Oh yeah, very very mellow. A very mellow style.
Singing at church.
Exactly. Yeah, they let us in there all the time.
Metal church.
That would actually be pretty more accurate, to be honest with you. If there is such a metal church out there, then please let us know. We'll play there. No, I've heard Metal Church. I love them, actually. I really think they're a great band. They're funny as hell. But no, Dying Breed, we've been together for like 10 or 11 years. I think it was our 11th year. We were a metal cover band for a long time, mostly like Iron Maiden and Pantera and stuff like that. And then we switched over to writing our own stuff about 3 or 4 years ago. We already got 3 albums out. We're going in for the 4th in January.
You ever go back and just play some of the covers just to...
Every now and again, just for the fun of it. Yeah, some of them are fun. Like our drummer, a guy named Mike Lampert, loves Prong of all things.
Dude, Prong is awesome.
Dude, it's great. We used to cover Snap Your Fingers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and every now and again we'll just sit there and like, you know what? Forget this writing thing today. Let's just play that or something. Let's just do that for the next 4 minutes and enjoy life.
Ozzy years ago.
Oh, that's
great,
awesome.
Man.
Absolutely awesome, man. It's a shame they couldn't do more in their time that they were out.
Some of their guitar riffs are just monstrous.
Yeah, even they're easy. Yeah, but there's something beautiful about simple. A lot of times,
That's why we got Caleb.
Exactly. Reluctantly ringing the bell over there.
I know nothing about simple.
Something, especially at least if you can write something simple like that and just grind it away, man. Awesome. That's the way to do it.
Some killer pics of you guys at the Animal Jam.
Yeah, that was a great time. That was an absolute blast. That show. It was nuts.
Thank you, Masucci, for doing that year in and year out.
3 stages. I mean, that was impressive to actually get that going and get it right. I guess you can say. That's tough. 3 stages like that. Music was constant though. It was great.
It was back and forth. Going inside, outside. It was great. It was a lot of fun. A lot of great people there too.
Oh yeah.
So we want to talk about a few more news stories. So, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I'm ready to move on to the games.
I kind of want to talk about this, the Bills and Browns. I definitely want to talk about that game, the Chiefs and Titans.
What kind of car do you drive?
I drive a Mazda CX-5.
Oh, but you know what? If you're ever thinking about getting a new one, you should stop down at the showroom at 5865 Taberg Road in Rome and see why all their customers love their Nye VW. Mention disruption to receive
$250 off.
Any purchase. Check out their inventory at NyeVW of Rome.com.
That was the best segue I've ever heard. That was wonderful.
To be honest with you, games last week for me, Thursday night game actually was good. Yep. Thank God. It was actually a great slate of night games last week, I thought.
I think we took a good lead on the 3-and-out crew on the night games.
We did.
You got us by a point, I think, right? You got ahead of us by a point, I think, right?
We took 4 points on this week because
we were wrong.
We decided we both picked the Seattle game, right? We were on the other two teams. So it was like actually if Seattle lost, we would have been up by more points.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So even though we picked Seattle.
Exactly. It's because of because I think we had it as our 2-point game, and you guys had it for 1, right? Yeah.
I really want to make that 3 because I called that game. I thought Seattle was going to win, but it's such a hard game. I mean,
all 3 of them were tough.
They were.
It was a great slate.
It was for the most part. The weekend's games were excellent for the most part. Now, I understand there's like the Colts Miami thing that was kind of ugly, and it wasn't a wonderful. But the outcome 16-12 right there. Every game seemed to be down to the wire, back and forth, and it was a great week of football, all the way up and down.
It really was.
Let's start with the biggest surprise. I mean, we all got falconed. We call on our show we call it getting falconed.
Getting falconed. Yeah.
I have for the last.
We got falconed by the Falcons.
Yeah.
2.5 years, I've always picked the Falcons. I've been like a huge Falcons guy. Finally, I'm done with it. I'm fucking done picking the Falcons.
Yeah.
And what did they do last week? That awful defense gives up 9 points.
Yes. Yeah.
9.
Well, they changed D coordinators.
Yeah.
So.
He
wasn't calling plays anymore.
He finally gave up play calling, and just so you know, which I think is a fucking dirty move. But Quinn quietly came out this week and said that he hasn't been calling plays for the last few weeks. Fuck you.
No,
fuck you.
No, that's bullshit. Because even during the game, they announced he fucking wasn't calling. They made a point to announce it. Wouldn't they have made that point a few weeks back?
Right.
Why would they do it this game?
It's still interesting to me, John. I still want to go back down the rabbit hole that we talked about last week too. And it's interesting to me that I learned this week too that one guy was calling, and I've never heard of this, and I don't know too deep into the inner workings of play calling and stuff like that, but one defensive coordinator, they have 2 defensive coordinators are sharing the duties now. Mm-hmm. One is calling first and second down plays, and Raheem Morris, the former wide receivers coach, I want to reiterate that again. Raheem Morris, the former wide receivers coach, who has moved over to defensive backs coach, is calling
and that makes
third down and goal line plays.
Because that's how most coaches go. They go from one side of the ball, what they played, and they coach against it because they know the weaknesses of the position. Yeah. Dude, I played center. I was offense my whole freaking life. And what did I end up coaching? Defense.
Yeah.
So they know the weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. And they looked pretty good last week, so it might be working.
Dude, I got to give my hats off to the Atlanta Falcons. Not only did they look aggressive, but their O-line, holy Jesus, they gave him time. Look what he can do with some time. And their run game, they fucking come out and just run the ball down their goddamn
throat. And it wasn't Devontae Freeman.
They stayed away from it most of the rest of the game, but that first drive, they beat them up. They beat up. Then New Orleans come off a fucking bye week and looked like poo-poo.
I didn't get a lot of the chance to really watch much of that game.
They just looked like shit.
Yeah. Dude, the Saints looked like garbage.
And they had an off game.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Exactly. We're not reading too deep into that. I'll tell you that. I'll still keep them as Super Bowl contenders, boys, okay?
I'm not getting Falcons this week. But
The nice part about that, you're mentioning the Falcons as far as it goes, and you know what, Caleb, there's a reason that you're always high and mighty on this team every year, because they have all the talent in the world.
Yeah, so much.
Literally on both sides of the ball. I know the defense has been god awful this year. But you got guys like Keanu O'Neal, who was out pretty much all last season, is now back and playing. You would think that they'd be better, at least in the secondary, and they haven't done it at all.
Yeah.
Of course, you got Matt Ryan. I mean, the list goes on now. Julio Jones, of course. But they finally put all that talent together and played a complete game finally.
Yeah.
It took them all season, but
absolutely
they did it. So it was a surprise. You're absolutely right. But the one thing about that game that wouldn't surprise me, they have the talent to do it. That's the one thing that you can say. It's not like a shock.
Right,
it's not a shock.
Always have that talent just hanging around.
And I think that's why you get Falcons, because of that talent. You look at it and you're like, oh my God, look at this. Look
at their record. Yeah.
It's great Ferrari, but then it gets stuck in second gear and you can't go anywhere.
You've always called them paper champions.
Mhm.
I mean, not to steal your term, but you're 100% right. They look great on paper.
Right.
But,
exactly.
But they just haven't put it together yet.
And that for me, guys, that for me is where, and I know we've said this a couple times, and that's for me where everything that we just described, paper champions, that's where it's not getting done on the coaching side.
I'm going down some of the lists of these games from last week, right? And just looking at some of these scores. Oakland and the Chargers, 26-24.
Yep.
Then you got 35-32 Titans and Chiefs. Browns and Bills, 19-16. Buccaneers and Cardinals, 30-27. I mean, some really close
games.
They were like you said, Fox just one game after another. They went Giants, Jets, Browns, Bills, Titans, Kansas City. That come down to a goddamn blocked field goal, which Chiefs fans are screaming that he was offside, but he wasn't. When you slow it down, the center's moving the ball when
he was perfect.
And
he said he was timing it all game too. He said he timed it all game.
We called it. Derrick Henry was going to be a force in that game.
Yes, yeah. Well, not only, that's what kills me, because you were half right about Tannehill. He had a decent game, except when the O-line was letting him get killed. But Henry just stepped it up in the second half. Yeah, it was
that guy's a monster. And against that Chiefs team where you can keep Mahomes off the field, and he's got so many weapons, and he had a good game too. I mean, like that jump pass he did.
Yeah, that defense they had 2 weeks ago was gone.
Yeah, that's where they were down.
And it's all because Patrick Mahomes came back. It's the weirdest damn thing, though. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
Right.
Why is it that when Mahomes is out, their defense is like legit lights out top defense, and he comes back and they just kind of go, we're fine.
Well,
we're good.
I kind of brought it up last week when we talked a little bit about that, and I feel like a lot of teams that have the really high-powered offenses usually have shit defenses. And I think it's because you could score at will that the defenses actually play a lot more because they're not like running the ball, they're not like taking it in chunks. They're scoring like every other play.
Right. Well, their rush defenses, they're high in the rankings, but their pass defense, they're like fucking 29th.
Right, because they're always getting passed on.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I like that game. That was a great game to watch.
Pittsburgh with the upset.
Yeah,
I was a little shocked on that.
Dude, Rams. Oh my goodness, some of the decisions.
They're coming back down to earth, man.
The Bears-Detroit game. I mean, we seen a little life out of Trubisky.
Dude, it was shitty first half again. Then, actually, mid first half to mid third quarter, and then shitty third and fourth quarter.
And like I brought up past few weeks, whenever they start playing him in a hurried up offense, he plays so much better.
Yeah.
It was like at the end of that half, he was like nearly perfect. I think he dropped one. He was like 9 for 10 or something like that, or 8 for 9,
right?
And a touchdown. And he threw a beautiful ball. And then he comes right back, and they threw another touchdown. He had, what did they say? 3 of his last 5 passes were touchdowns.
And the defense was feeding off of that, so that helped. But they're really a team that needs each other. They really do. The O-line was playing a little bit better during that short span that we got 20 points.
But think about it, like you have the defense on their heels. This is where we go back a couple weeks ago. When you have the defense on your heels and you just stop and kick a field goal, no man, you got the team believing now.
We made that second string quarterback look really good through the first quarter and a half for Detroit. It was a little scary.
That guy looked
Who
good
started
anyways.
for them?
I don't know, Bill Divins. I don't remember his fucking name.
Nobody.
I forget the kid's name, but he played really, really well. Like he did some Aaron Rodgers bullshit.
He's a tall drink of water. He was.
He like juked out a couple sacks and then just launched the ball on the run for a touchdown.
You got that,
Oh, Jeff Driscoll?
Yeah.
Come on.
Dude, this guy played really well. Go back and watch the game. Like he
wasn't even worth a second contract in Cincinnati. You kidding me?
That's because it's Cincinnati.
Well, it took the Bears a quarter and a half to figure him out, apparently, because then they made adjustments and shut him right down.
He led the team in passing and rushing yards. That's pretty impressive. I'll give him that.
There you go.
I mean, like
I hope he leads him in passing yards. He's a fucking quarterback.
That play alone, he broke.
Thanks, John.
Like 2 or 3 sacks, and then launched the ball down the sideline for that touchdown.
He's gonna hate me for that one.
You're a backup quarterback. It's good to know that if Stafford goes down, they still got a guy that could come in there and play.
Yeah. Have to.
He really surprised me. I was really impressed with that guy. I couldn't
Driscoll.
Even argue. Yeah.
So a lot. I honestly was surprised when I thought he was still in Cincinnati. When Cincinnati announced that they were going to bench Andy Dalton, I was like, "Oh, Driscoll's time again in Cincinnati." And then it was like, "Oh no, it's going to be Ryan Finley." And I was like, "Oh, Ryan Finley? You mean that practice squad scrub who's been around since Jesus would walk this earth? Oh, okay, great." He sucks.
Well, that's about how he played.
Yeah. Now, Jamie, let's before we get into some picks here tonight, let's ask you the question. And this is a question that I posed to 3 of my Buffalo Bills friends
He's a
this
poser.
week. I asked them this question.
Okay.
And I want you to digest this.
Okay.
Is it time to start hitting the panic button a little bit in Buffalo?
No. No.
I don't think so.
It is not. Because one thing that we saw, and just go through the entire week of football of week 10, this past week of week 10, and there was a lot of crazy upsets. That's part one. The second part, I walked into this game. I was talking with Masucci actually on Saturday. Before it happened, and there's a few people like, they're going to walk all over the Browns. They go, I hate this game. I hate this game.
The Browns were favored. That's what blows my mind.
Thank you. So like, there's something about it. I'm like, this screams awful. It was a team that
offense.
What's that?
You talking about the Bills' offense? Hey, I'm a Bears fan.
You know what? I'll let you go this week because you got a weekend.
Tell him to shut the fuck up.
He's a Bears fan. He's a Bears fan. You know, like what do you got to say about offense? Okay, buddy.
Take offense to that.
Fuck you, chicken.
Yeah. So, but no, it screamed ugly right before it even started. I'm like, I hate this. If the Browns beat the Broncos the week before, I would have picked the Bills to go in and walk over the Browns without a problem. Right. But the one thing that was the biggest thing about that game is, the Browns have a lot of talent. They really do. They're a better team when you look at the Browns roster versus than the Falcons. Yeah. But also than the Bills. When you just look at it from just true talent, they're more talented than the Bills. And
I can't imagine anybody arguing with that.
No. And the worst thing that happened when they lost to the Broncos was you caged an elephant. And that was it. And what do you do once you cage an elephant? You rile it up and you piss it off, and that's what happened. Buffalo went into Cleveland and got beat by a caged elephant.
Cleveland fucking got down in that red zone like 4 times and walked away with fucking
but that Buffalo
9
defense
points
is legit.
Dude, they're sick. Dude, they shut them the fuck down.
It's been keeping them in a lot of games. But my reason for asking that is we get to this point in Bills seasons when they're 5. I remember the infamous 5-1.
Yeah.
Jesus walked back across Lake Ontario and made himself home in Buffalo. Okay, I was in college for that. I watched the Great Walk happen. Okay,
yes.
And then they lost out. Yeah,
that was Doug Flutie. He went to Canada,
and then they lost. And then they lost out, and it's like
they were terrible after that.
Are we getting to that point where I guess the panic button is not the way to go, but are we getting to that point where we're starting to lean a little toward the tip? Like we're like,
tip
fuck,
counts.
like are we gonna, is it gonna?
Miami's on the rise.
Is it gonna implode? Like that's I guess my question for Bills fans. And listen, I've come on the air this entire year and even last year when they were in the playoffs and been a very big Bills supporter.
Yep.
I'm not saying it, but I'm just starting to get nervous with exactly like you said, Jamie, a second ago. Mm-hmm. Okay, you go in and you're facing a lot of these teams that have names.
This is just a way a Jets fan talk shit.
We'll talk. Screw these guys.
I guess. I mean, can you just mute your own fucking mics for 2 minutes and we'll take the show from here or something? Like, I'm worried that so we're starting to get down the road of, yes, it is a blue collar named roster. And we're facing these teams that are, a little bit higher talented players, higher caliber players. I don't want this ship to go bad. I want to see the Bills do well.
Yes. Well, of course I do too. I mean, that goes without saying. But and I don't think it's that point yet. I really don't. I've tried to. I pretty much spent my entire week trying to, rationalize and be logical with anybody that asked me the same question too, because you just got to look at it for what it is. The offense, they're not scoring points. I 100% agree with that. Mm-hmm. For the most part, they're moving the ball. They're not going 3 and out or anything. They're still getting their yards, which is good. Mm-hmm. If there's anything to be upset about, if you're a Bills fan, the game plan, the play calling has been just odd for the last 4 or 5 weeks at this point. You had Devin Singletary against the Washington Redskins get 140 yards. He had 20 carries of it for 95.
All year.
With that defense, you should see that every game.
Exactly. And right there, actually, you nailed it there, because if you're just going to run the ball, you're gonna kill clock, which is perfect. They lost the time of possession battle against Cleveland. Big shock that they lost for that one too. But you can just waste clock and bury and wear down an opposing defense. Sean McDermott got a lot of flack last year for saying, I'd be happy if my team would score 21 points. He's not wrong. If his team scores 21 points, they're winning every damn game.
Right, because your defense...
Their defense is holding them under.
To let up less than 17.
Exactly.
Probably 13.
Yeah. You would think Dable would have experience with that too. Brian Dable, the OC in Buffalo. You'd think he'd have experience with that because he was at Bama for 3 years.
At Bama, exactly. And, Bama was obviously an offensive juggernaut.
The game's over 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, basically it was over within 3 drives, but it's just been weird. There's no identity in there right now. You go from a game where Allen passes 20 times and you run the ball 40 to the polar opposite where you throw the ball 41 times and run 13. Mm-hmm. 13 times. In a game that was either tight or tied for most of it, if not all, actually, for the most part. And I don't get it. That's the thing I didn't get. So
you sound like a Bears fan.
You're also talking. Jamie. The other point too to remember.
I don't feel alone anymore.
It's not as quiet in here.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
If you think
underwear on.
If you think back to Cleveland. Is a year or two removed from having one of the best defenses in the league.
Yes.
And now, granted, it's. Yes, they're a year or two removed. I'm saying they're a year or two removed from having one of the top defenses in the league.
A year or two. 2 years ago, they didn't win a game. Last year, they only won a few. I mean, am I missing something?
Well, they had a good defense.
Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, they had a good defense, though.
Yeah, under Greg Williams, they had a very good defense. Yeah. So you're talking about players who have produced and done pretty well. They haven't really shaken up that defense too much in Cleveland.
No.
So why, as you said, you can easily script this game plan.
Oh yeah.
So why are you Dable? I've heard a lot of people, a lot of Bills fans this week going for Dable's head, and I'm happy for it because I heard he was another guy that the Jets were thinking about fucking talking to. Okay, so great. Okay, you can keep him. Good.
Stay in Buffalo so he doesn't come with Adam Gase.
So I wanted to get the perspective of a Bills fan because I think it's a very interesting time, and I think you're headed right back into Trapsville this week.
I don't. This week is the opposite, and the weird part of it is I would have agreed with you Monday and Tuesday, but after yesterday I don't anymore. Sean McDermott got so frustrated during all this line of questioning that he got yesterday with his presser that he walked off stage. He just got massively the calm, collected, enthusiastic clapper that guy is.
Little butterfly that Sean McDermott is.
Yeah, he doesn't. He sits there for 20 minutes half the time answering every ridiculous question that these people ask him, and they kept going at him like, "What do you think about Dable? Is Josh Allen a bust?" And I went, "What the hell are you talking about?
How can you say he's a bust?
Chicken.
You can't right now.
He's an
really can't.
There's these people. There's these people out there.
You just got that.
Sorry, it took a second there. But
there's these people. There are people out there already. Like I was, deep down the Twitter rabbit hole this week, and that we're talking about the fact that they're like, do you think it's already time to start looking for somebody new? And it's like Josh Allen's been fucking great, and he's embraced that city. He loves that city. He's the type of player Buffalo needs. And you know what?
Get him some talent.
Chicken, it's exactly it. I think one of their biggest mistakes, and it's like I said last week, I think the biggest problem was that the price tag at the deadline was too high on what Cincinnati was looking for the farm on AJ Green, and Minnesota was looking for the farm and the penthouse on Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. Which they should.
And they should. You should. Because they're in the driver's seat.
Green in Buffalo would be spectacular.
That would be great.
That's exactly the kind of player they need there.
Yeah.
You don't need an Antonio Brown.
Nope.
You need a big, hard-nosed wide receiver, big, tall guy for him to throw to. And then your other guys like
John Brown. John Brown's been great.
John Brown.
He's been outstanding.
Cole Beasley.
Cole Beasley.
Actually,
both those two have been
Sammy
great. Both too soon. No,
Too soon?
Not really. That dude barely played a game in Buffalo. I could care less. Yeah, that's still too soon. All right. But at least Brown and Beasley in Buffalo.
Wide left.
Yeah, Marshawn. Jesus. Brown and Beasley have had very productive seasons so far. Very, very much so. John Brown has already surpassed his reception total from last season, and he's also one of two players in the NFL who's had 50 yards or more in every game.
Beasley's been one of those he's durable guy.
He's a good piece to have in the slot.
Yes.
Yes.
He really is. No. But the problem is you got a guy. I think John Brown's just been incredible. Absolutely, just blew my mind how good he's playing so far with Josh Allen. And Beasley's been good, like I said, in the slot. But there's no other guy.
Right.
That's where the problem was. They tried Zay Jones before shipping him off to Oakland. And he wasn't, he definitely wasn't that type of talent. They tried to make him a number one receiver, and he's not.
They need that number one where people are going to double team.
Yes.
He's going to eat up all like an AJ Green.
An AJ Green, yeah.
Yep. And he could still produce even being double teamed.
Yeah, and even if I know he's injured, fairly frequently later, and he's getting up there in the years, but at least he's a guy that has a track record of being, an elite wide receiver in the NFL. And he at least draws fear. So even if he turns into a guy that's only going to get 50 or 60 catches a year, well, John Brown's going to get 100 on the other side because of it.
I think him and Dalton both need a change of scenery.
Absolutely.
Both those guys need to just leave and go to a new team, and I think we'll see a bigger, better player.
Dalton needs an old fucking line. I've said it all year. I think he's a decent quarterback who just gets fucking murdered every game.
He does. The line is pretty much Swiss cheese and nothing but. He does get destroyed because Dalton has been serviceable at least in the past. He's thrown 300-yard games. He's thrown a few 400 even.
He's taken him
for that matter.
To the playoff.
Yeah, he's put him on the brink, I guess you can say.
I wasn't sure if he made it twice, but I know at least once.
At least, yeah. But at least the Bengals, for the history of Andy Dalton, were at least a semi-respectable team for the most part every single year. And now,
at one point, he was a guy you worried about.
At least to a certain extent. Yeah, you can't just say that we're going to walk all over the Bengals. This season is just gross.
Yep.
It's gross. And Andy Dalton looks like the worst quarterback in football. On top of that, and you're right, so because it's
he gets up and he just looks so fucking. He's mad at God.
Yeah,
how the fuck did I deserve this?
He's got no time, and even when he does, I won't even call it time, but even when he does release the ball in a relatively normal fashion, they have to lead the league in drops.
Are you saying he gets beat like a redheaded stepchild?
Right.
I wouldn't say that. You can though. But I mean between Boyd and what was the speed? John Ross. They are dropping everything. They're like 50% drop rate or some craziness like that. It's ridiculous how many of these things are not being reeled in. And
the Bears lead the league in drops.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Bengals are probably number 2 because they drop a ton, and that's the other thing. So you can't keep the quarterback upright, but when he does release the ball,
you got to catch it.
You got to catch it. On top of that, Boyd's had a solid enough season, but that guy's it's the same thing that you looked at. We're talking about in Buffalo. John Brown is not the number one receiver that you would think of. He's great on quick slants and speed routes. That's fine. Same with Boyd. Boyd's the same type of player. Sure, he's getting 8 catches a game, but he's not that elite player. He's not Julio Jones. He's not AJ Green. So you can't treat him as such.
So I want to talk a little bit before we get into the picks about this Cowboys-Vikings game.
Mm-hmm.
That was a close game. It was a good game.
Yeah, it was another good one. Yep.
But Cowboys aren't. I mean, they're leading that division, but barely.
Well, he throws for fucking 400 yards in the game. I mean, Christ, can you ask your quarterback to do much? I mean, other than maybe should they have run it a little more?
I mean, they don't have a really good running back, so you can't really.
Oh no, he's terrible.
Obviously, this comes down to their defense because they scored enough to win. Really, this comes down to how their defense is playing. They're not as dominant as
I think it's become like what we said before in last week's show when we were talking about this game is you see Minnesota more of a complete team than we are with Dallas.
Yes,
Dallas. They're good in stages. You know what I mean? Like sometimes one game they'll have a good passing game.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'll have like a decent run game. But they for some reason can't put it all together. And their defense is decent, but like we seen them against like they almost lost to the Giants. They lost to the Jets. They lose to teams that like you expect them to blow their doors out. And you see the recipe here. You stop Ezekiel Elliott, you make Dak Prescott beat you.
Right. Well, obviously he did enough to do that this week, but the Vikings just said, you know what? You're going to score your points. We're going to score more. And exactly what I thought would happen happened. I figured the Vikings offense would beat the Cowboy defense, and that's what happened. So.
And then they kind of makes you think, like, okay, looking at the list, going into the playoffs, and I don't have it all right here right now, but like the Cowboys are winning that division with a crappy record, and then you got like 3 teams coming out of the West that have better
probably
records. You're like, holy crap. So that is definitely the worst division in football, I think, right now.
The NFC East?
NFC East.
Oh, it's pretty horrific. I'll agree with that.
I thought going in, that might be one of the stronger ones with Philly and...
I mean, they're tied for first with the Eagles.
Well, I'm saying that division is just horrible. And like...
Yeah.
It would help if I printed out the standings.
I mean, so if the playoffs started tomorrow and the AFC would be the...
We are not doing this in week 11, are we really?
Okay, we don't have to.
No, go ahead. I want to hear it because I'm interested. But
I thought this was where the conversation was kind of headed.
Go ahead.
There you go.
I'm just like, I can't believe we're actually doing this. But
so if the AFC East would be the Patriots. Right now, Baltimore is 2 games up in the North, so they would win the North. Houston is 1 game up on Indy. In the South, Kansas City is a half game up on Oakland. Which is scary.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, right.
So your wild card teams would be Buffalo and Houston, or Buffalo and
Indy.
I think it is. There's a lot of weird tiebreakers.
It would be Buffalo. It would be Buffalo and Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of weird tiebreakers on that one.
Shitting me?
No, that's true.
And then in the NFC. The NFC, your races right now are...
Oh, because Pittsburgh beat Indy, right?
Dallas
Right.
Dallas holds the tiebreaker over Philly, but they're tied. Green Bay is a game up on Minnesota. New Orleans is 2 games up, and San Fran is half a game up on Seattle. And San Fran also has played their bye, so Seattle's on the bye. So yeah, it'd be a full game probably after this week if they win.
So Seattle will have the wild card.
Yep, and I think Minnesota.
Seattle and Minnesota would be and then the NFC East winner would be outright.
Yeah, that's it.
So
and that's why I say like, barring any injury, like that's when you see somebody like Kaepernick getting picked up, or some of these like other wide receivers, Antonio Brown, they might need a job. But I want to jump into this game with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns tonight.
Pick time, maybe.
Hang on. Yeah. So we're moving on.
We're moving on.
Well, like EJA Moving Company, professional movers at 315-335-0516. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, complete packing, and unpacking services. They work with everyone and make it simple for you to move and relocate. That's EJAMoving.com. When it's time to relocate, have EJA do all the work for you. You're listening to the D-Line.
Thanks, Sil.
There we go, John.
Love the segues in the show. they're so
They're
good.
shitty.
I think they're great. I don't know. That's just me.
Shitty segue.
Yeah.
You guys deliver the prim and proper football news. We deliver the fucked up it's Thursday night, right before the Thursday night game. Drinking. So
There's less misery at this point because now last Sunday is far enough away. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, we get all new misery.
Exactly. Yeah, new hatred of life and football.
So Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I wouldn't really call this a rivalry because Pittsburgh pretty much owns them.
They've not won the last 9, but they've not lost the last 9. There was a tie.
There was the tie, yep.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why this is a tough game for coaches of the Cleveland Browns? Well, I'll tell you. In John Silber's fact of the day, the last 6 Browns head coaches have all been fired.
Oh, nice.
After the Pittsburgh Steelers game.
Oh, no way. Wow.
Boom, boom.
Adam Schefter on that.
Nice.
No, then
so it's not true.
It's not true. Take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
It's like 24/7 sports. I do like how they're working Kareem Hunt back into the mix.
Oh my God, he was great last.
Yeah, he had a good.
He really was. Yeah.
Him and Chubb, they got to share that backfield. So
monsters.
Yeah, two-headed monster back there in the backfield, which it should be, and you just hope that both these guys they feed them enough that they both can work together. Because if they do, that's going to be a tough thing to beat right there.
Yeah, it is. It is. Cleveland today making a mid-level but very surprising move on a game day.
Very.
Released Antonio Callaway, who was a third or fourth round pick for them a few years ago, or a year back, actually. Yeah,
was it only one?
Yeah, only 1 year back out of Florida. Failed a 4-gamer earlier this year for PEDs. Is now claiming he has now been given another 10-game suspension, and he is claiming that he got a tainted CBD product. All right, you know who doesn't taint their CBD products, Chicken?
Who's that?
Who is that?
I believe that would be Utica Hemp Company.
Yes.
They see he should have went to them and
should have gone to Utica Hemp.
Took the Joe.
God,
fine guy.
I'll let you
gotta get the sponsors in there.
I'll let you get through it because the sponsors, we all know them and they're good people. So.
They're good people too. But no, he's claiming that he got a tainted CBD product that had THC in it, and that is what he is blaming on his latest failed steroid test or his failed PED test.
Why would you even? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's bullshit.
Why do you put your career on the line? Even with CBD, I wouldn't know. You're fucking trusting somebody else.
See, and that's why you should have went to Utica Hemp Company.
Right, exactly.
Said, hey, you could have gotten the full spectrum. Oh, but here's some TH-free product, so you don't fail your drug test.
Yeah.
This is why it helps people to go and learn about what you're going to do.
Yes,
especially if you're a professional athlete that you are.
Oh, I thought you were going to go into the commercial.
Well, but, you know.
But Chicken, here's the thing too. The league, to be honest with you, I give the NFL credit. The league has been very specific and very transparent on what you can and can't have in your body. And it's as simple as, I believe, and I've heard this I know it's true in baseball, but you are able to actually take an app. And if you're in a store and you're like, say you're just buying an over-the-counter generic cold medicine, and Jamie, your medical profession here will really help us, I think, get an idea of this. But
it's not a pharmacist.
You could literally take a picture or scan the barcode, and it'll tell you whatever is banned in those substances. So my question for you is this a very, very hard thing for these players to avoid, putting things in their body that they shouldn't be?
No, and there's not only is there like apps, there is actually apps that you can do that. You can actually scan whatever it is, and it gives you any harmful ingredient. That is 100% true. But additionally, each football team also hires people to strictly look out for anything that will even give you the false positive. So, which is hilarious. You know, like. Some of them are like, well, I had a poppy seed muffin or something like that. Yeah. That's actually fairly true. Poppy seeds can give you false drug tests. That actually is 100% true.
Deer piss.
You're wrong guy, not a pharmacist. Yeah.
Ray Lewis said he took deer piss?
Some craziness. But they all have these people that know exactly what will give you the wrong result on that if you're actually being truthful and honest and not just getting high in your car on the way to the field.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for, well, I had a tainted substance, I had this, I had that, I grabbed the wrong thing or something like that. Like, I didn't know what I was taking. Let's be smarter about this. Be honest. Be better liars at least about it if you're gonna get caught. You know what I mean?
A few years ago, remember Jim Miller got busted for over the counter. He busted him over the counter. And he's like, Look at me.
Few years, 18 years ago, everybody. Love his memory.
I was back when I was 8.
Yeah.
But he was definitely a guy you wouldn't say was taking like supplements or
Right.
But that's the thing too. It's become so clear. This fucking excuse is not worth shit anymore.
But should the NFL? Okay, I know this is going to go down a whole other rabbit hole, but shouldn't the NFL look at and broaden some of what these players can take? I mean, like CBD. Now we're learning so much more about CBD and other things that can help people out, like
CBD is great, but it's strictly it says not to take. It says not to have THC in your body.
Shouldn't the NFL expand that list? I feel like because there's a lot.
CBD is legal, so they're not saying CBD.
The next time that the players bargain a contract, that's when it comes. But as far as the terms of the collective bargaining, the contract's been collectively bargained by the union and the league. This is what they say can't happen.
I understand.
You can't tomorrow. You can't. Chicken, I agree with you. You're spot on.
Yeah, I'm fine.
But you can't tomorrow say. We're gonna say that THC and all marijuana is legal. You can't do it. It has to be negotiated in the next thing. And that's the part that kills me about this is we're coming up. By the way, we're coming up on another NFL collective bargaining time coming up here in the next year or two, and that's usually a 5-year deal. So this collective bargaining agreement has been in place for at least 3 years now. His agents read it.
Right.
His agent's been able to tell him about it. Just don't fucking do it.
Josh Gordon.
Just leave it out of your... Yeah, exactly.
Don't put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
You know what? If you question the CBD, your take, I wouldn't even chance it. Even though CBD 100% can help, especially football players. They got to be swollen in their joints and everything. Dude, CBD is probably the best thing for them.
And that's what I'm saying. Why not? It doesn't give them a competitive edge.
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a competitive edge. I don't feel like marijuana gives you a competitive edge. I don't feel like some of these things that they have illegal, even in over-the-counter supplements, doesn't give them that edge. So, I mean, I get it. They might murky up the water a little bit, but like what's legal and what's not. But I feel like they can expand it in this day and age that we have the research out there that
Well, is there a limit? See, this is where I don't know. Is there a limit of how much THC you can have in your body before you fail? Can you have a little bit, or does this have to be a lot? I don't know. 5 milligrams versus 4 milligrams. I don't know what the positive.
One blunt versus 2.
Yeah, right. So I would imagine if he did a CBD product that was supposed to be THC free but had a little THC in it, would that have been enough? So I don't buy it. I don't buy what he's selling.
Yeah. It's a little too tough of one. So, and you know what, you're right, Chicken. As far as this weird hazy gray area that you got going there with like what should be, what shouldn't be, and all that. Different day, different topic, different day. But the brilliant part of it is you're getting paid 6 or 7 figures to play this game. That's basically it. 6 or 7 figures to play this game, and one
test failed. 2 tests failed. This is not test 1.
Yeah,
test 1's fine with me. Test 1's fine with me. Okay, you fail 1 test for some weed. I'm pissed about that. I'm not happy about that. But you've been told.
Right.
And it's coming. And we're not talking about like
an
established veteran. Look at what happened to even an established veteran like Josh Gordon when he was in the league. An established veteran, he still got suspensions. Mm-hmm. They aren't going to feel fucking pain on you for this fucking slot receiver in Cleveland.
And that's like, after the whole Josh Gordon debacle, like they're like no tolerance.
No tolerance. See you later.
Is it that town? I mean, this is it.
What else you can do in Cleveland?
And you know what? And good for Cleveland because they could have easily today what they could have done this morning to not make it a game day distraction or something like that.
Waited.
They could have easily inactivated him and waited till tomorrow and released him.
Yep.
But you know what? They fucking got right ahead of it today and they caught him today. And good for them.
So where do you think we're going to stand on this game?
That's a good question. Now to talk about the important stuff.
Well, I mean, it's good to see Cleveland just cutting ties with Whitehead last week and now fucking Callaway. They don't want the cancer in the locker room. They don't want it. They're running a clean organization.
That's a great point.
But
this is 2 weeks in a row.
Comes back. So I mean, he's never been a cancer, but
Kareem Hunt's paid his penance.
You're right. Hopefully he did, and hopefully he learns his lesson. But I think it brings up a new pressure for Freddie Kitchens. I feel like now you got all this talent.
Yeah.
You got all this talent. Like, can you drive this car? Is it too big for you? Is it like
this is your hump? You haven't beat Cleveland in Pittsburgh in 9 tries. This is your hump.
I'm going to give it to him tonight at home.
I totally agree. I am going Cleveland. I love their run game. Their defense is all right. Pittsburgh Steelers defense is really soaring. Fucking Minka Fitzpatrick. I swear to goodness.
And you bitched about
where the fuck was this guy
in Miami, wasting away?
Yeah,
because it
was Bugs Bunny over there playing every out of position and whatnot.
Exactly. So now this guy actually gets to just ball out. And he's been doing that. He's been playing great. And they turned that defense right around since they got him. So what are you taking?
I'm actually, this is another one like last week. I don't like the feeling of this game. Cleveland's going to take this one. It's in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. I do have a feeling that this season is going to be one where Cleveland splits with the Steelers, the home and home type of thing. So, but this is a Cleveland team that showed up a little bit better. And as long as they're smart enough, and God bless Freddie Kitchen if he can do this and get out of his own way, you got to utilize that Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb backfield the way he did against Buffalo. Because
in the red zone, at least be a little more,
be a little bit more creative in the red zone, without a doubt.
That's the thing. I think he was too creative. How about a little more straightforward? Is what I was going to.
I see what you're saying. Instead of the off tackle sweep plays, the same exact sweep play that they did to Nick Chubb 4 times.
Yes,
right, exactly. Yeah, try to do a little bit different, but getting there as far as that goes, they had both of them on the field, and then there was a lot of misdirection, and that really gave Buffalo fits last week. So you got to do that again. Don't try to have Baker throw it, because Minka Fitzpatrick has been disgusting.
Oh man, he's
for the Steeler defense, and he will make a play that ruins your season.
He's already ruined mine.
a great point to the fact of using those running backs is they're not the same player. Nick Chubb is a lot more of that
bruiser.
That's Kareem Hunt. I would disagree. I think Nick Chubb is a lot more of that catching the ball out of the backfield type guy. Almost, I think he brings.
Kareem Hunt is really good out of the backfield.
But Kareem Hunt is going to bring himself and just drive straight a fucking head.
See, I'm with you on this. I think Chubb is more north south, and Kareem Hunt is east west with north south built in.
I loved watching Chubb for that reason
Chubb
when he was
young,
in college.
So
that's why he was.
He's still got sideline to sideline in him. So
it's just a dynamic. You know what though? Here's the thing. We're sitting here, and we've given both of these
two different
perspectives. So let's fucking use them all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You're absolutely right.
Are you going Cleveland?
I'm going Cleveland. Yeah.
Are you going to get kicked off of 3 and out?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry in advance. But you know what? I picked the Rams to beat the I picked the Rams to beat the Steelers last week, and Moss rubbed that in my face when they won that. I'm like, all right, look, I'm wrong. It happens. Okay.
I'm going to go Cleveland too. I can't go with the Steelers. I just.
Rudolph's not playing bad.
Connor playing tonight?
No, he's not playing bad, but he's not playing great either. He's playing enough to make sure that there's no mistakes.
I believe Connor's playing. He's playing with a bigger shoulder pad.
What's that?
Injury reports over there?
Oh, well, you know what? That's the only tab I don't have.
I'm wondering if John Connor's going to play tonight. I believe he is.
John Connor, nice.
James Conner, fuck me.
Oh my God, you didn't do that on purpose?
Oh no, I didn't.
Wow, that's great.
And by the way, guys, the guy
Jamie for weeks.
I was trying to talk about last week with the bloody nose was.
And he lost it.
John, I know. I did.
John Connor? No.
You made me forget it already.
Oh,
Are you joking? Man, this show's going nowhere. All right, we'll find out if
anyways,
James Conner, who's on my fantasy team for the last 2 years, by the way.
I heard he was going to play.
Yes, I heard the same.
He's wearing the bigger shoulder pads to kind of protect his shoulder.
Yeah, but then again, that was Tuesday. Yeah, that was like Tuesday or so there you go. Yeah, I heard the same thing that he's back this week, but I don't know, man. They got to do something there. They can't. They got to do something if they're going to try to beat Cleveland. If that's the only thing. So
Paxton Lynch is out.
Okay, that's probably good.
Back to 3 years ago.
No, seriously, he's on the fucking Steelers injury report.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's their third quarterback.
Third quarterback behind Devlin Hodges. You ever think his career would get that bad?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Former first rounder.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right, we're going to go on to Detroit Lions and Cowboys.
The Lions are in.
Look at that! Dallas is going to play a road game this year.
I know, right?
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow, in a dome too. Go figure. They gave him that cushy matchup. They gave him that. It's basically like playing in the same place, just a little quieter.
Dallas is going to open the roof up a little bit.
Yeah. I listen. Cooper and Prescott were awesome last week. They couldn't match up for more. I got crushed by them in fantasy. Zeke is Zeke. He's doing what he needs to do. He's playing well. I don't see there's any way that Detroit can beat Dallas.
I don't either. Not with Driscoll.
Jeff Driscoll. Yeah.
All right, so
Stafford did not practice again today.
Right, he did not. So it's looking like he's going to be there again. What do we got? Stafford still questionable, held out today. So and when you're held out on Thursday,
it's usually not good.
99% you're not playing on Sunday.
Well, it's also it's not like exactly like you said a second ago, John. It's and you Bears fans watched last week. It's not like it's Luke Folk. It's Jeff Driscoll. He played pretty well. If you're to the point where it's okay, Matt Stafford.
He played really well.
Matt Stafford,
Bears defense.
Okay, but now you've got let's say he plays well against the Dallas Cowboys. It's the Dallas Cowboys defense. It's the Dallas Cowboys offense that Detroit is not going to stop.
Yeah.
All right. They're going to have a field day. I like Cowboys by double digits here by at least 11.
I do have to say now that I agree with Sil. I'm going Dallas. I do have to say I'm very, very disappointed in a guy that I thought was going to have a really good year coming out of the draft this year. The basically the highest touted tight end in the draft, T.J. Hawkinson.
T.J. Hawkinson, yeah.
He's been nowhere to be found in Detroit. I know he had an injury earlier in the year, but man, he has been nowhere to be found. And I figured kind of that, it's obviously Matt Patricia was a defensive coordinator with New England, but he was there a long time and he saw the effects that a powerful tight end has on an offense. Very surprised he's hasn't been more integral in this offense. So that's just a little point by B. So Jamie, what do you think about this game?
Cowboys, and this shouldn't have even been this long of a conversation. That's the truth behind that. So nothing against.
You guys drag shit out.
Yeah, this is long. What the hell? Nothing against the Lions. They're actually playing pretty well for what the talent that they currently have and the injuries that they had early in the season. Kerryon Johnson can't even stay on the field. When he does, he can't hang on to the ball. So, and now you got Matt Stafford with fractured vertebrae. That's just rough. The whole thing in Detroit is just bad.
Matt Stafford's career is
and you just lost to the Bears.
Yeah,
the guy's thing was John Ritchie.
Oh,
there. Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Okay.
All right. So, but I mean, for Detroit, as far as that goes, they don't have enough offensive firepower to keep up with Dallas at all. There's no way.
I disagree. They got a lot of wide receivers on that team.
He's not going to do it.
He's not.
I don't see it.
I'm going Detroit on this. I feel like
he did it.
I think the North.
Yeah, he did it.
The North as a whole, team wise, is better than the East.
My mouth is agape.
I feel like every team in the North.
Is your mom calling you?
I feel like every team in the North can beat every team in the East, and in Detroit even.
You just think it's a different battlefield.
I do. I really do. And when you got to go against Green Bay twice and Minnesota,
my
twice,
man's got balls.
But you got Marvin Jones. You got Amendola. I mean, you got some weapons there. And this kid that played last night, they got no tape on him. That played last week. This Drexler.
Yeah, they do.
Driscoll.
They've got one game tape on this kid.
Yeah, in all the games he started in Cincinnati,
Dude,
too.
we're talking about a team that lost to the Jets.
Yeah, you got to bring the Jets up so quick.
I'm just saying. I mean, Detroit's a decent team.
They beat the Giants.
What they showed us last week, I mean, Bears barely got out of there with a win. And Detroit's been in a lot of games with some big teams that they went.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
City.
They have not really gotten blown out by teams. They've taken it Green Bay to the wire, fucking
But you don't think Dallas is going to
tied with Tampa?
You don't think Dallas is going to come in with a full head of steam, knowing that the Eagles are going to play New England?
No, I don't think it matters. I think Dallas is coming into Detroit. Detroit, I'm just going with Detroit in this because Dallas, to me, they just seem very suspect. Once you stop Ezekiel Elliott or slow him down, Dak Prescott not beating you. He's not beating you.
This is one of those games. This is one of those games that we've picked now that I'm going to fucking dread having to talk about next week.
You know it's going to happen.
It's okay. It's possible.
Like the upset of the week.
And think about the games that Dallas lost.
And then me and fucking Caleb, we just got falconed.
Yeah.
Dallas has been losing the teams you expect them to win.
Yep.
And this is a game that I feel like they think they're going to walk in there and beat them. And Detroit is gonna. They're gonna
It's
surprise
possible.
them.
A bipolar Lions team.
You're 100% right. I mean, just to refer to the Jets game on the road.
We're still talking about it, Jamie.
I know. Like this is lengthy.
All right, New Orleans, everybody circle it. New Orleans is going to come back with a fucking vengeance. They are not going to overlook the Bucs.
No.
There's nothing to even say. Nothing to say about that. New Orleans, absolutely, because they're not going to be embarrassed twice. Not in back-to-back weeks.
Caleb's going Tampa, right? You're going Jameis. You're a Jameis believer, aren't you?
Are you really? I can't argue with you after last week.
I'm not going to, because I think Michael Thomas is going to have a really awesome week. I'm going to go New Orleans, but I think this game is going to be tight.
Yeah, I disagree. I think it's going to be a blowout. Carolina versus Atlanta. Who's got the balls to go?
Oh man,
this is tough.
I'm fine.
This one's actually tough. We can talk about this one for as long as you guys want. At this point.
Carolina's got a decent defense. I mean, what they went to Green Bay and fought them tooth and nail. I'm easily okay picking Carolina this week. I don't believe in the Falcons. I have no reason to believe in the Falcons. Every fucking ounce of any second, I believe in the Falcons.
He's so right, but I'm not sure.
No, I'm 100% positive.
Carolina has playoff hopes.
Yeah.
Atlanta does not.
Which is very true.
Throw my pen.
This one is really tough.
This is tough.
No way!
Kyle Allen's taken a couple chinks in the armor the last few weeks. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, but that kid's still playing really, really good.
He is playing well. He's playing okay. But
my brain hurts.
All right, you're going to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's doing it.
Oh, he's getting Falcon.
He's doing it to himself this time.
I'm just doing it
that's the worst part. So I'm not. I can't Falcon myself on the first time on this program in a long time. So I got to go Carolina, and for the sole purpose that I really hope that Ron Rivera changes his game plan up and just hands it off to Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
run rampant over Atlanta.
You ever
just
think
leave it alone.
What that guy? All you have to do for that guy is just literally like you stand in the pocket, right? This is all you got to do with him, and just either side,
turn,
just either side, or not even turn, just either side, and just make the 5-yard screen pass to him and
let him
get
go.
the offensive lineman down the field.
Look, the New England Patriots had made a career out of it for 15 years with screen passes to Wes Welker and Julian Edelman.
5 and out, beat it. 5
exactly.
And out, beat it. 5 and out, beat it.
Philly went to the Super Bowl years ago with Bob McNabb and Westbrook and all those guys doing those
same exact plays.
This is
short, safe throws, and let your playmakers play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let Christian McCaffrey run all over these guys.
So Colts and Jaguars. This is a good game.
Are both these teams gonna have new quarterbacks this weekend?
No.
Yeah.
So Foles is back. And
I don't know
Brissett?
about Brissett. I think Brissett should be back. He was kind of close. He was close, right?
He's not on the injury report.
There you go. Okay.
So Foles against Brissett.
Nick Folds.
No. This is Nick's time of the year.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is Nick's time of the year. This
he gets paid $10 million.
Man, this is good. This is tough.
It's tough.
Another shitty fucking break for the Colts this year, man.
Yeah.
Like they just keep getting shaft after shaft, and then now Foles comes back, and granted Minshew did well, and who knows what Foles is going to be like when he comes back, but it's just like the Colts need kind of a win here. You're getting your quarterback back.
Yeah. Really speaking, both of them do.
Yeah, Brian Hoyer sucks balls. He fucking sucks.
He's pretty bad.
They easily had both of those games the past 2 fucking weeks, and he just shit the bed.
Well,
he's so bad.
This division, Houston,
it's tight. It's nasty.
Houston leads at 6-3.
Yep.
Indy is in second at 5-4. Tennessee is 5-5, and Jacksonville is 4-5.
Yep. All of them. Both
Indy
these
should only have
separated by 2
losses.
games.
Exactly.
Indy should only have 2 losses. And 2 of them are because of fucking Brian Hoyer. So.
Here's the thing, like whoever's quarterbacking for Jacksonville, I just circled Indy, and I'm really kind of
I'm going Indy as well, Chicken. You're not wrong here.
Well, the reason why I'm thinking though is like with Jacksonville, like no matter who plays quarterback, there's somebody there who's played this year and played pretty decently. I mean, Foles.
We've got half a game Foles in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
He made a killer throw that first week. I can't argue that.
But so you're not really changing leadership there. I mean, you got somebody familiar, somebody who knows how to run the offense, somebody who's had some success. Whereas in Indy, if Brissett's not going, you got Hoyer or whoever is going to go. You're starting fresh. You're starting from brand new, and you don't know how they're going to gel with that team. Both teams got good defenses. I'm actually gonna.
They both got solid running games.
Do we know Brissett is playing or not?
He's not on the injury report.
He's 100%.
So if Brissett's playing, then I'm going Indy.
I'm going to go with Indy as well.
It's why I looked it up. So I'm like,
I'm going with Indy. This game could go either way.
Yep.
This is a very, very, very important game for both of these teams. This is going to be a really good game because you have to look no further than down the line a little bit to Houston at Baltimore or Baltimore at
So
Houston.
you're gonna give us one of those coaches, interviews.
So
if we play the game hard and we run the ball, and score, I think we can win this game.
we score more points than the
for
other
both.
team. We got this.
For both of those teams, it's going to just kind of ramp things up even more, knowing that you could maybe be able to gain a little room. So we'll see.
You totally did too. So who are you going with?
Indy, yeah.
Indy.
Right,
He's
so we're all
going
going
Indy.
Indy?
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go Jacksonville. Just for the thing is, Sil already nailed it with one. The pretty throw he had was to DJ Chark, who also Minshew had a nice connection with.
DJ Shark, dude.
Exactly. And so I think there's enough of a connection there that they won't have that speed bump that they have to get over right off the bat. And Leonard Fournette has actually been playing a hell of a lot better than I expected all season. So
he's surprised the hell out of me.
This is, but this is a game that I wouldn't be surprised if I'm totally wrong, and I wouldn't be surprised if you guys were totally wrong. This is a massive coin flip. I love it.
It's only 3 points because they're the home team. Really,
that's very true. It's pretty much is who's going to make the least amount of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be what it's going to come down to.
Checked in. She said she's going Colts, so she usually beats me, so I'm going to go with her.
Gentlemen, I do want to just let you know, too, tonight's promotional giveaway at the Browns and Steelers game is these horrific-looking dog noses.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's bad. It's everything that you would imagine and worse.
Can I change my pick to the Steelers now? Just for the horror.
I have for 4 picks later. I have yelled out. I changed my pick.
Before we go down to the,
as long as you announce it, it's cool.
All right. I'm sticking with Cleveland.
I did forget to mention that we are going to be doing a contest. Right
yes,
now.
we are.
We had so much stuff going on. I kind of thought got a little past it. We're going to be doing squares for the Thanksgiving Day games. Mm-hmm. Each game, it's going to $5 donation to the American Cancer Society. This is support the Real Men Wear Pink. So they're going to do per half. So each half you can win $50 in each game if you win the first half. We're not doing quarters. We're just doing each half.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then so it's $50 per half, and then $100 for the game winner. And so there's 3 games. So I mean, what's that? $450. Something like that?
No, it can't be $450.
I can't.
Yeah, actually, it is $450.
Oh man,
50 is $150. Then another 300. You got $450. Right.
Okay,
there you go.
Right. We are going to be posting up all the info up online.
Details, yep.
Catch up. It's going to be really cool. I think it's a fun event. Melanie, that she's going to be on with us next week.
Oh, good. And it's for a great cause.
Yeah.
So, let's really put, especially next week, the week before, let's push it. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's get out there and get some donations. Cancer is something that affects all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And, what we could do to help out and watch some football and win some money. Come on, guys. This is going to be great.
You can't ask for anything better.
I did want to let people know we are doing that. I'm going to put the info out on the Facebook and Instagram and all our other social medias. And let's pack this thing up, man.
Are we going to be PayPal, Venmo?
PayPal and Venmo,
sweet.
both of them, and that we'll have all that information listed.
Sweet.
As well.
So even if you can't get in to sign, you got another way to pay it and contact us and get the money in.
If you want to come in here and give cash, we'll take it in his G-string.
If I'm wearing one.
If he's wearing one that day. But no, this is gonna be a lot of fun. I like this because it's built right for football, man. You sit there, watch football on Thanksgiving, fill your face, and maybe win some money and help some people out.
Fill your face.
Yeah, baby. So now let's get on to this game. This one's gonna be a real tough pick between the Vikings and the Broncos.
No, it's in Minnesota. I think I'm okay.
Yeah, so you're going Broncos?
No. They're on a fucking streak lately, but no.
We're all going streaking.
Bring your green hat.
I'm going Minnesota.
Minnesota as well.
Minnesota.
Yep.
Yeah.
3
Minnesotas. So now we're going to move on to the Jets and Redskins.
Oh, my God.
I think Jets could win 3 in a row. No. 2 in a row. Right? 2 in a row?
2 in a row.
Yeah.
He doesn't have faith.
Mike.
He's with Redskins this week.
Yeah, they remember the Dolphins.
Don't offend me like that.
They did lose to the Dolphins.
I was going to say the Dolphins decimated them. Forget that.
Dolphins are on a 2-game tear.
I know, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I think I'm going Jets.
I too.
I want to hear it.
Why am I gonna? I'm gonna get jetted.
Sing to me, Silbreth.
They really impressed me last
Sing.
against the Giants.
Sing.
Mostly a good game plan. You know, but but it's in Redskin land and it's at 1:00. Oh, they're only favored by $1.50, Jets.
That's what puts you over the top.
Yeah, that was a
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
House is on the line here.
Well, fuck the 1 o'clock start. That's it. Damn it. You know what, Jamie? I'm going to skip you. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to go with the fucking Jets too. Now that it's a fucking 1 o'clock game, all right. It's a 1 o'clock game. When does their flight land? Can anybody get their flight schedule?
Probably not even a flight. It's probably a bus.
Yeah.
They're going from Jersey to D.C.
Sam Darnold
or Jersey to
eats his
Maryland.
oatmeal in the morning.
It's on the East Coast. All right, Jets.
All right. Yeah. Are we all going Jets? Don't do it, Jamie.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not that horrible of a person. It is the Jets. I said it at the beginning of the year on this show that I thought the Jets had more talent. They just had too many injuries right off the bat.
Correct.
So the Redskins are about as bad of a team as you can get, and the Jets should actually handle this one really easily.
Just a quick sidebar to the Redskins. Very impressed with the way they've been handling Haskins, though.
I'll give him that. I 100% agree with you.
Bill Callahan's done a nice job handling Dwayne Haskins, making him the starter the rest of the year. He limited himself against Buffalo. I think they've done a nice job, and I think he'll keep doing that because it's that idea we were talking earlier. It really doesn't matter. Let the kid get into the flow of the game.
Absolutely. And you know what? They're probably going to limit him against the Jets also, which is not going to do the Redskins any favors as far as scoring points.
Throw all over that fucking
well, that's exactly it. But at the same point, you won't shatter Haskins. You won't destroy this kid for a stupid throw that all rookies make and gets picked off, and now he's RG3.
And Don's going Redskins, she says.
And that's why you hire or you bring in a veteran interim coach like Bill Callahan.
All right, so let's go on to the Dolphins and Bills. I think we're all going Dolphins. Keep that rolling.
I'm going to go Buffalo.
Yeah, we got to go Buffalo in this.
Buffalo, the Bills.
Yeah, I don't even think that, to be honest with you, I don't think the line is large enough at this point. I said it earlier about McDermott walking off the podium. And this goes back to my whole caging the elephant theory.
Yeah.
You just pissed this guy off. And I'm like, yes, thank you. They should rebound, and they might absolutely light up the Miami Dolphins.
How excited are those boys going to be to get out of the snow in Buffalo and get down to Miami for a few days and just really? It's almost like a vacation.
True.
And then they got to play this stupid game.
The thing I can say where this could be a trap game is, because they are going in Miami and because they always play each other tough in that division.
Division games are always a nightmare. That is very true.
But honestly, this is a game that Buffalo should just walk right through.
They should. And as far as the trap, because going with Buffalo, I don't see it. They got Denver the following week, and then Dallas on Thanksgiving the week after that.
Fitzpatrick versus that defense. I'm willing to invest more in that defense. The offense should be able to do just enough to get by.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with the Bills on this.
Using words like invest, I think you're like smart. What the hell?
For the love of God, if any of you Bills coaches are listening, can you run the damn ball, please, though?
Yeah.
Please.
Especially in this game.
Yeah, this game should be a run-heavy game.
Mm-hmm. And Gore's going to want to get some back on Miami here.
Oh, yeah.
This next game, I think, is the game of the week.
I agree with you. I actually picked it as my game of the week on Tuesday on 3 and Out. The same thing. It's a game that I'm really looking forward to.
Like, both these teams mirror each other very well. Young, athletic quarterbacks.
With strong arms. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think Watson's more of the passing playmaker.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Jackson's more of the running playmaker. Both phenomenal. I mean, just the stuff that both of these guys do is absolutely just incredible.
Texans defense took a dip with Watt being out for the rest of the season.
And the Clowney trade, Jesus.
He's such a force. He's so interruptive. His fucking engine never quits. So, I really think that hampers. He really could have interrupted Lamar Jackson's style of offense. He really could have. But now that's not there. So I have to go with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Wow.
Lamar Jackson's shown me quite a bit this year, and I was a Lamar Jackson hater. And I'll tell you, one guy that has really come along for me and really help Lamar Jackson out. And it's nice to see him using this player because it was never a guy he used before. I don't even think Louisville had one in their offense is the tight end, and it's Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
And he has been awesome with him this year. And he's used him as a scapegoat, which he should be doing. And I'm going to go with the Ravens this week against over Houston. So
Yeah, I'm opposite. I'm going to Houston, and the only reason this is going to be like a 1-point game. Really, This is going to be disgustingly close.
Don't go anywhere near the points in this game.
No, don't touch this game at all.
Take over.
Yeah, sit there and watch it. The only reason I'm saying the Texans though is thinking back with Deshaun Watson against the Chiefs before the Chiefs had lost. He owned that game. He played a perfect game against the team that you thought was that they didn't have a shot against. And as far as a passer goes, he's more consistent, especially in those tighter games, those bigger games that you don't really give him too many chances. The problem is with a guy like Lamar Jackson, I think if you depend on him to still have to win a game, I don't think he's going to be able to throw his way out of it. I think that the moment might get a little too big for him.
Wait a minute. Last week, that guy, I mean, now granted it's Cincinnati, but he didn't have to run as much.
Very true.
He passed a lot.
Yeah, but he had an insane run. He had an insane run.
The run was nuts.
It was a really nice move.
It's not that he's throwing badly. That's not what I mean. I think when the moment gets there, I think he will. He will start to come down.
And I agree with you.
He saw a lot of those moments in.
We haven't seen him dig into having to run the 2-minute offense.
Well, you guys are missing.
That's true.
You guys are missing.
That's what scares me.
That Mark Ingram guy.
Yeah,
you know,
he's
a big factor in this game.
He's a huge factor. He's absolutely a huge factor.
I'm going with you with Watson. I'm choosing Watson because
you love that guy.
You're right, I do.
Did you see that Seattle-Houston game a couple years ago?
Yeah, it's 4 years ago.
It was a great game, and this guy he's a battler like him. And what game was it just this year? He went battle to battle with
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
With the Chiefs.
And like this guy can put up there with the best, and which really makes me pissed off that he could be a Chicago Bear, him or Mahomes, could be a Chicago Bear.
Yeah,
coulda, woulda, shoulda about every player.
This is going to really piss you off. This week they finally asked John Fox the question because John Fox didn't want Trubisky. Who did John Fox want?
Deshaun Watson. Oh no!
Yeah,
I wanted Watson.
Hey, can I ask you guys something? Where's John Fox saying that from?
He's an analyst for some network now.
Yeah.
He's not coaching a team.
He's not coaching a team.
All right, then it's pretty easy to say that too because I would have said the same fucking comment.
That's who I really wanted, but I like
so stupid.
Deshaun Watson is because
you're stupid.
No, you're fucking stupid, John. Damn
it! He's got the bottom of the pen.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes.
You got Fuller. You got like Stills. You got so many weapons on that team offensively. And then they still got a good defense.
Yeah.
They still got a really good defense. But I feel like Deshaun Watson's a gamer. He's a winner. The game against the New Orleans Saints when he went toe-to-toe with Drew Brees.
Yeah.
I mean, and if Drew Brees wasn't Drew Brees, they would have won that game.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it could be one of those games like we've seen on Monday night where it's back and forth. But I feel I got more faith in Deshaun Watson because he can do it with his feet and his arm, but he can do it with his arm more.
Yep.
And he's got the weapons to throw it to. So I'm going Houston.
Yeah.
So what do we got? 3 Houstons, only 1 Baltimore, or
2-2.
2-2?
2-2.
I'm going Baltimore.
Okay, so 2-2.
So 2-2.
2-2. This next game looks like a pretty easy pick to me, but Cardinals are playing a little better, but they're not good.
No, they just
San Fran, but every game in this division is tough.
Yeah.
So
they
I'm going San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm going San Francisco.
Yeah, it's San Francisco. Enough said. There was a reason that they were undefeated. There's also a reason that they just went to overtime with Seattle, and probably the game of the season. That was a hell of a game to watch.
That was a great game.
It's going to be tough to beat that, really. I mean, fucking overtime, seriously? It's going to be tough to beat that.
Down to the wire in overtime.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all going 49ers.
Yep.
Eagles versus the Patriots. Rematch of the Super Bowl that the Eagles won.
In Philly.
Some Philly specials going on here. This time with, what's his name starting the quarterback?
Patriots
had
2 weeks to prepare for this game.
Yeah,
Baltimore made them look pretty bad.
That's fucking scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're the team facing the Patriots off the bye. Fuck.
That's not promising. Yeah, that's not promising.
That's tough. I'm going New England. I circled New England from the start. I yeah.
Usually,
The Philly's not.
I
the
like my
same
Eagles.
team.
It's not the same team. This team's another team that's been crushed by injuries. And when I say crushed by injuries, is yes, a lot of guys are coming back and they're healthy and stuff. But we're also looking at a team that's at the progression level of being at like week 1 or 2 or 3 with these guys coming back from injuries. We're not looking at a team that's matured through the season with their core group of guys. It's been plug and play for the Eagles all season. So, and it's Tom Brady, and it's just the same as every person over the last 2 weeks has been. All you've heard over the last 2 weeks on these fantasy shows is, "Are you jumping ship on Sony Michel? Should we jump?" It's the Patriots, because you know what? I bet fucking Sony Michel comes out and goes for 200 yards this week. Who knows?
No.
They're ready to go.
Week
John's right. It's a full bye week. Like, come on.
For both of them, though.
They're both coming off the bye.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll take Belichick off the bye than Peterson off the bye.
I know where I'm leaning towards the Patriots, but the Eagles.
You're undecided, John.
I kind of am. I really am. It's weird because we've seen some bright spots from the Eagles this year, and then we've seen them lose. We all got Falconed that week. So, do you know what he's doing right now, Jamie? Do you know what he's doing right now? He's waiting. He's waiting for you or Chicken to start talking.
No, Chicken's waiting for me,
and for you to tell them why he should pick the Patriots or the Eagles.
I'm going Patriots. I just don't feel that the Eagles are the same team that we've had the past couple of years. While Wentz is playing good, his numbers are all right. Good old line, defensively and run game. I'm just not sold. So. Yeah, I'm going Patriots. There, I'll circle it. And
there you go.
It's in writing now, at least mostly.
There you go. So I'm actually going with the Patriots, but it's a lot. This is not a comfortable pick in any way, shape, or form. It's a terribly uncomfortable pick. The only reason that I think that it's going to go that way is where the Eagles are strong is their run defense, and where the Patriots are weak offensively is their run offense. They don't really run the ball that well. They do throw, which the Eagles cannot defend.
They have an okay quarterback.
Yeah, they've done all right with some guy.
I'm making this pick. I feel like my uncle's rubbing my back while and he's talking me into it. I mean,
yeah.
It's that
Your Uncle Greg.
Yeah.
So I still got to say I don't like this pick at all. The Eagles have played a lot better going into the bye, the 3-4 weeks going into the bye, than they had in the beginning part of the season. But it's still try to run. That's if you're the Eagles, try to run, maintain the clock. That's the best you can do.
Johnny was going to come up and start rubbing my back.
I go in Eagles.
Around.
I see, and I don't even blame you for that. I can't even argue with you on that.
And it's a little bit of a stretch, but I'm thinking Eagles because I feel like this is more of a monumental game for the Eagles.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you look at the New England wants that revenge for the Super Bowl, but do they really care? I mean, they got like 7 rings.
Yeah.
New England losing 2 in a row. I mean, I can't even go to that because they're due. Yes, they're fucking due to lose 2 in a row at some point.
But in Philly, I feel like the coaching, if you remember back in that Super Bowl, the coaching was Belichick-esque. I mean, they really played that game very, very much so. And they got to get up on Dallas. They got to catch up to Dallas again. So I feel like Philly, like the emergency button is being pressed. And we know when Philly's back up against the wall, they start playing a lot better.
They don't have Nick Foles to bail them out this year, though.
They got Carson Wentz.
Wentz got to stay healthy,
and Wentz has been playing pretty decent. Like,
yes, his
they got to get
numbers are
Alshon
phenomenal.
Jeffrey playing like the number 1 that he is, and Aguilar and some of these guys. But I say run the ball with Jordan Howard and
Miles Sanders. That's the one. If you want to win, Miles Sanders better be catching screen passes.
Miles Sanders,
and then you beat him up in the middle with
Jordan Howard. Absolutely. If you want to win this game, that's what you do.
I totally agree. Philly runs a hell of a screen pass.
They really do.
Those motherfuckers.
And the way they work,
they set it up so perfectly. They really do.
The way they work those running backs, like I mean, you think about it. Back in like when they won, I mean, you had what's his name, Smallwood and Clement.
Yeah, Corey Clement, Wendell Smallwood, and
Jay
Ajay. Yeah.
But then you also had the bruiser in LeGarrette Blount.
Yep.
Well, he got you those needed yards and finished out the games, and I think that's the Jordan Howard role.
Yes,
is to close out these games. I think Philly's going to catch them with their pants down. I really do.
Yeah, but I can't. Like I said, I can't argue with you because there's a few things about the Patriots I'm not liking, and their offense has not looked good at all. You're seeing some issues in New England with their offense. You could make the argument it has age caught up, whatever the hell you want to say. There's no receivers there anymore either, so that's not exactly good to go with either.
Weird why they just let Josh Gordon just walk.
Very strange. Zero chemistry with a guy like N'Keal Harry, and you get him back off IR, and then just say, "All right, Josh, have a good one."
Thanks, thanks, man.
You've been here all this time. We'll bring Sanu in, who hasn't played with him.
Enjoy the West Coast. See ya. You can go to Seattle. Have fun.
But ecstatic now.
Yeah, which he's probably wonderful, loving life over there. But it's been a weird thing, and they're talking about Gronk and all this crap. There's no chemistry with the tight ends. There's no chemistry with any of the receivers that are currently on the team that's not named Edelman. So I'm a little afraid of New England's offense
they don't
going
have any
forward.
Killer tight ends anymore.
They also don't have the cupcake schedule that they play anymore.
That was funny.
Yeah.
The layup Aaron Hernandez reference. Is that what you're talking
about?
Yeah.
We need a drum guy. Somebody on the drum kit.
Gronk's back by week 13.
No, he's done. Guys, it's not even a discussion.
All right, so
Gronk's back by week 13.
Raiders versus Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going Raiders.
Raiders. Not even talking about it.
Yeah.
For the obvious reasons.
Yep. The Bengals are just that bad.
Yep.
That's all we have to say about it.
We could skip over this game twice.
The Bears go to the left coast.
Bears' offense is really bad. I think the Rams could play with half a defense and be okay against this Bears' offense.
I disagree.
I'm picking the Rams.
I'm going against you on this. I hated what I saw out of the Rams on Sunday against the Steelers.
Oh yeah, it looked like shit.
They were absolutely awful, and I can easily say that the Bears' defense is better than the Steelers, and that's a tall order too, because the Steelers have been playing better than anybody defensively lately, and so I actually like the Bears. Please, can I hit the same button I'm hitting every other time? Please run the damn ball. I mean, really.
Hang on. Yeah. Montgomery's could be out this game. Just tweaked his ankle in practice yesterday.
So they call Mike Davis back?
So
oh no.
So you're going Tariq Cohen, and you might bring Ryan Nall up, or put Patterson and Patterson.
No. Don't do that.
Cordell?
Don't do that. Yeah.
Is that Cordell Patterson?
Yes. Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
Say his name. Yeah.
Please don't do that.
I would. That's probably the option I would go with if it was my.
He rolled his ankle yesterday.
But we've seen a little bit out of the Bears' offense last week that actually started to click a little bit. And I feel like if they keep the pace going,
congratulations, you're the fattest kid in camp. That's what the Bears are at this point.
If they keep, says the Jets kid. Like seriously,
and we got our head coach next year.
We're all locked up. Nobody's on the hot seat now.
You, Matt Nagy.
and I want to give Nick Kwiatkowski some love.
Yeah, dude,
this kid came.
Semi-orthodontist?
Yeah, he came in for Trevathan, and he balled out. This kid got an interception, a couple sacks, rushes the quarterback.
Yep. He played
open field tackles that actually tackled.
Balls out, yeah.
This kid played amazing.
No.
It's good to know that if Trevathan, who's a beast, I think Trevathan is a beast, and it's good to know that if he goes out, this kid can step in there and ball. And it was nice to see 44 out there, run around hitting people. It kind of made you feel like Urlacher was a little bit. But
I've always been suspect of his pass coverage. His run coverage is fine. It's his pass coverage.
He did pretty well this
I'm not fond of.
He got an interception.
No. I again, he played lights out. He shut me up. Was I cheering him on? Heck yeah.
He really stood out to me. Him and Leonard Floyd defensively really stood out to me. They were after the quarterback. They were always around the ball carrier at any point in time in that game, and it was always one of those two guys.
Well, what's it? Williams leads the team with 7 sacks now. So, other people are stepping up.
Right.
That's great. If you're going to fucking double or triple team Mac, I'm glad somebody else is stepping up and taking the reins, because now other teams are going to have to worry about him, and maybe Mac will get his numbers back. Mm-hmm. That's why Floyd is having such
and you see that
time.
little spark in that defense, yes. and with the offensive woes that you're seeing in the Rams, I feel like the Bears. You've seen it last week in the game when Trubisky finally started hitting his receivers, and he threw some really nice passes.
Yes,
he threw some great passes because they let him ball out. They let him just play the game, and if they can keep that same thing going, like keep it up pace, keep the defense on their heels, run the damn ball.
Hey,
you have to keep the defense.
Am I sensing a theme here?
Run the damn ball.
Yes.
And with Gurley not really doing it,
I just feel that the Bears' offense is so stagnant that it Rams by 3 is what I call for this game.
All right.
I'm being a homer again, and I'm going to go with the Bears.
Bears.
The Rams haven't really shown me much at all.
No, they haven't. But this
They're
might
actually,
be their.
The Rams might be the second to last team in that division, which is something crazy to hear because
it really
they
is.
dominated last year.
Right.
Yep.
And now they're in the cellar again.
Well, that's the thing. This was close to one of the games of the year last year, and now it's bad versus even worse.
But again, it's two teams that are battling for playoff.
To be number 10 instead of number 9
both
in the
teams
draft.
still have chance of being in the playoff.
I know.
Yeah, theoretically, only the Bengals are eliminated at this point, or something like that. Yeah, theoretically speaking, I am with you a little bit on that, though, Chicken, and not so much. Even if it's just to give a little more hope for 1 week, but I am so colossally disappointed in what I saw out of the Rams last week. I mean, that wasn't even an effort. And Cooper Kupp goes from 220 yards after the bye, by the way, against coming off a bye, no catches, no yards.
Holy shit and a hammer.
Yeah. No catches, no yards after a 220-yard week, 2 weeks prior to that. So they totally screwed the pooch on that one. That was a terrible one. So I'm just going to say Chicago because of it. If they're playing a tough defense and they get punched in the mouth again like that, I don't think they can handle it. I don't think they can handle a tough defense right now.
The Bears' defense is not the problem of that team.
God no. That's absolutely not a
thing. They're still they're not getting the turnovers they got last year, but but they're a bend don't break defense. Again, Detroit drove down a couple of times, pretty easy the first couple of drives, but they only walked away with 6 points.
Yes.
So and then they held them until the end of the game, So I'm loving what the defense is doing.
Yeah, and pressure is as good as a sack anytime, because if you're creating havoc up front, which the Bears probably they're among the best in the NFL doing it. Even if you're not getting it, just lay a hit on the guy. You're causing errant throws.
Let him know you're there.
Yes, you're going to cause errant throws. You're going to have people seeing ghosts, for example, as Sam Darnold said. But
I know where you were headed.
Exactly, but I mean, you're going to have them guessing and curious and wondering what is coming next every single play, and that could just cause havoc on a guy, especially on a guy like Jared Goff right now, who's not playing up to the standard that he played last year.
How fucking soft is Silbreth not picking his own
Hang on,
team?
no. Either way, I'm a winner. Either way, I'm a winner.
No,
Bears win, yes. Bears lose, yes.
There's the truth of it. Now we get it. He just wants to make sure he walks out happy.
That's right.
Before we get going to the last game, I just want to say, are you tired of living in pain? Your medication doesn't seem to be working.
Antonio Callaway is.
Yeah, right. Try a natural, safer alternative with CBD from Utica Hemp. With everything from oils, full spectrum, and THC free. So, if you talk to these folks over at Utica Hemp Company, you would have known better. They got topicals, CBD flower, and dog treats. Utica Hemp has something for everyone.
Should we find out his address and send him something from Utica Hemp?
Well, he should just go to visit uticahempco.com or just stop in one of their 4 locations in Utica, Herkimer, New Hartford, and Clinton.
Great idea, Chicken.
One of their knowledgeable staff members and see how CBD can help you. And he can figure out which ones to take and which ones not to take.
Right.
Yeah.
He would have been totally fine. So Utica Hemp, improve the quality of your life. So we just had to give him a little shout out because you know what? I think that dude needs it. Galloway, go talk to him.
We should send him something.
Absolutely. This last game, we should send him the full spectrum. So this week, Monday nighter, looks like it might be a decent game. Chargers versus Chiefs, and normally this is a battle.
The soccer stadium gets a Monday night game, huh?
Yep. Mexico City.
Oh, it is in Mexico.
Yes. Yeah, it's in Mexico.
Oh, it's not at a soccer stadium.
How does 2 years in a row Kansas City have to play in Mexico, but last year they couldn't do it?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Last year they canceled the game. Wasn't it supposed to be against the Rams?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was the game of the year, remember?
Yeah, another LA team, down there.
Shall I start this off?
I know you love out of state or out of country games. So
Should I start this off? I'm going with the Chargers.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. About this Kansas City team. Pat Mahomes did say today he feels better than he ever has since week 1. I don't believe it. They look in a little bit of disarray to me. And this Chargers team, the only reason I'm going with this is this Chargers team needs this game to get back online.
They need this game to get right again after the tough loss last Thursday. The Chargers are the Falcons. You goo and ga over the names, but it doesn't come on the field. And
when I goo, I come on the field. I mean,
I did that all for you guys, by the way. So I'm going with the I'm going to go with the Chargers this week with a fully healthy team that they're going into this game with.
There you go. Nope. I can't agree with you because the Chargers are about the most bipolar team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. The goo and ga.
Wait, did you say he struggled last week, Mahomes?
No.
No, he didn't say he did not. Say
no, I'm saying the team as a whole. I didn't. I wasn't.
Chargers struggled last week.
Yeah, the Chargers struggled last week.
Okay.
Yeah, what are you taking the minutes for the meeting or what?
No, I was just like, I think
Caleb.
Mahomes was like, he had like
Caleb said,
400 yards.
Caleb really just say okay.
Did you really go with that? No, I got to go with the Chiefs. It's not like them to lose with that type of offense back-to-back games very frequently. I don't see it really happening.
It's
against
really
the Chargers.
a neutral field now. Granted, it is in Mexico City, so my guess would be there's more LA Charger fans than Kansas City fans.
Probably, yeah.
Big ups to the NFL. Big ups to the NFL for taking one of the Chargers home games away. By the way,
Right.
Great move.
Well, yeah,
great move by the
absolutely.
NFL
I think they'll have more fucking fans here at this game than they do at their home field.
Silbert with
probably
the hot
true,
and
yeah.
correct take.
Yeah, that's probably very accurate.
I am going KC. Their offense is just too high powered.
Yep. I personally, I just can't trust how bipolar the Chargers are. It's same with the Falcons, same with the Browns. These are talented teams that can't get out of their own way.
Although this is
a lot of times
the time of year that the Chargers come out of their shell and actually start playing football.
That's true. Was it last season? I believe that they were again among the worst, and then rattled off like 9 in a row.
Yeah,
So
it
is. Yeah.
Every year that Philip Rivers has been there.
Philip Rivers too. Got to give some love to Philip Rivers. Big fan of Philip Rivers. One of his children was. Actually, one of his many
children.
Yeah, was diagnosed today with pretty heavy form of diabetes. So hey, it is Diabetes Awareness Month too. Just so in case anyone was wondering. So I'm not congratulating him. I'm saying a lot of ups to Philip Rivers. Shout out to that. And he's bringing a lot. He is. In just the last 2 days, has brought a lot of awareness just to that cause.
Well, so did Jay Cutler years ago. Remember when he first started in Denver? After that first season, they were wondering why was he so bad, and he diabetic.
Yeah,
nobody knew it, and
especially in those conditions could affect you, but
badly. Yeah,
but yeah. Philip Rivers, I give him a lot of credit for just the children alone, and one of his little ones going through a problem like this. He has done a lot just in the last few days of bringing awareness to this. So
you think about that,
cool story
for like a player. Like if you're low, you're tired. You're
Yep.
and if you're high, you can't concentrate.
Yeah,
so if you're a diabetic and playing the NFL, I mean, man, you got to get that under control, or else you're going to be sporadic. Which was definitely Cutler's.
Yeah,
I'm
going with the Chiefs. The Chargers, they have some great talent in the Chargers. I can't deny that. Like Melvin Gordon, like the Philip Rivers,
Hunter Henry, Keenan Allen. Williams. The wide receiver. Like the list goes on.
I just feel like the Kansas City Chiefs are too high powered that. Unless that Ingram and Bosa could really apply a lot of pressure, which they can do. Those guys are very destructive.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like Mahomes can get out of it. I feel like Mahomes is savvy enough to escape a lot of what they can give him.
Absolutely.
And I also feel like Andy Reid could come up with a great game plan for that.
These games are always, really close divisional games. So, I expect this to be a tight one. Unlike at home.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going Kansas City. I feel like this is gonna be a good game. I don't know. I don't say that very confidently. I feel like Chargers have been like kind of tearing people up lately. So they beat the Packers.
Yeah,
they beat the Bears. They beat.
Yep.
Did they win last week? No, they lost.
They lost this past week to the Raiders.
Again, a close game.
Yeah.
So.
Tough call, man, but I'm going with the Vikings or the Chiefs. Vikings. Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings. Wrong sheet.
Get us out of here.
Yeah, let's go. We're getting the hell out of here.
What the hell?
But I want to just touch base and say again, once keep an eye out for the squares. $5 donation. It will go to Real Men Wear Pink, and also for the American Cancer Society. Our guest next week will be Mel from the American Cancer Society, who is a Packers fan, but don't hold it against her.
Oh, her.
She really knows. She knows her shit too. She comes.
She's a great guest. Actually,
she is.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, we are gonna be out of here. Little something from our boy. Getting Antonio Brown doing his. He had to go in front of the court and see if he can be reactivated. So
Yep.
I feel this should be played in court.
This is a first-class temper tantrum thrown by Antonio Brown.
All right, listen up, everybody. This is former governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're listening to the D-Line, only on Disruption Networks. That's the D. Do it now. Rah, rah.
It's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge to benefit the Bahamas Disaster Relief Fund. Sunday, December 1st, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. AMF Panorama Lanes, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica. Come have fun and enjoy a few games of bowling for a good cause. There will be prizes, food and drink specials, and some special challenges mixed in along the way. $20 per bowler or $100 per team includes 2 games and shoe rental. All proceeds go directly to the Bahamas Relief Foundation. That's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge, presented by Disruption Network, Holy Pozzoli, and AMF Panorama Lanes. Sunday, December 1st, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.